And Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the third gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., and Kings studio analyst and former King Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Bum, bum, bing. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good. Hey, good to be with you. Thanks to y'all for y'alling yesterday. It's always good when you find out you're doing a two-person show instead of a three-person show a half hour before the show starts. But, that's just the pros you guys are. Hello to everybody else. I hope everybody behaved yesterday. They probably did not. That's fine. I am Dave. That is Jason. J Mar's in here doing angles. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Oh, you mentioned
that was the royal buddy.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. What's up, bud?
What's up, buddy?
When it's bud, it's different, huh? Hey, bud.
Hey, bud. Yeah, bud's like almost like we're gonna fight. Like,
yeah.
What's your problem, bud? But if you're like, what's your problem, buddy?
Nah, the bud makes it more like it's on.
I think at least for our generation, because somewhere subconsciously, I think we're thinking about Judd Nelson and Breakfast Club.
Bud Bundy.
Yeah, Bud Bundy. Not really. You're not. See, for me, when I hear Bud, I think not even close.
Bud. Oh.
That was Spicoli. Wait, was it? Oh, it was. No, actually, it's both. You're right. That's a little. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's a little. It's like a sliver early for me. I was late to the party on Fast Times, but then I was.
Slow Times.
I can definitely recount a few scenes from that movie, though.
Anything particular?
Nothing that. Well,
doesn't anybody knock anymore?
Forrest Whitaker had a great.
Yes.
One of the great questions ever asked. First, is he gonna or is he gonna kill us?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you had a nice. Was it Arnold?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something about a pool in there too.
Maybe.
I think
maybe
somebody getting out of a pool, into a pool, swimming.
Sure.
Cannonball.
Yeah.
Good morning. I hope everybody's okay today. I hope. No, it was not me overeating crumble cookies. As to why.
I wish.
I mean, if you're going to be out for a reason, overeating crumble cookies, our new celebrity birthday sponsor, that would be fine. No, it was a wonderful crumble cookie, and I look forward to more. And I want to know where the other crumble cookies went when Scott Marsh took that box out of the room. I don't agree
Thievery.
with that. Here's the problem with that. Like, I understand the concept of share the cookie or whatever it may be. Well, I get it. But here's the thing. They have food catered down there all the time. We don't, and because of our sketch, we don't get any.
Yeah.
Maybe occasionally we go down there on a break or after the show, and there's like an old bagel and a crumb of schmear.
Yeah.
Or like a breakfast burrito that's like half smushed, and that's just feels like tummy grumbles before you even eat it. Like, can we have our own thing?
Yeah.
Can we?
And that was our own thing.
That was protect the cookie.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, some salesperson is just sitting there. Oh, cookie. Well, don't mind if I do.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take a second.
Yeah. Exactly. Why not? Hey, why not? I hope everybody's okay today.
Why would they not be?
Maybe some people feel like it's time to rebuild. Maybe after the last two games, I literally had some guy text me or tweet me. He's like, "Hey,
did you DM that to yourself?"
And his reasoning was, it's apparent that this is our ceiling, and our ceiling isn't a championship because Boston, Philly, Milwaukee are at least.
So the West should fold.
Maybe we need to rebuild.
Yeah, the whole West should apparently.
I will say this. I was actually, we'll see how that comes into today, but I was pleasantly pleased at the lack of, hey, man, if you're not first, you're last. And, you know, all these people with these moral victory or, you know, not, you should be really upset. These guys, this is why you got to win that Utah game. You can't turn the ball over more. You know, maybe they're believing their own hype. And I feel like that's all, like 99% of them, like scored a couple touchdowns in high school. And you're
on that dangerous place called Twitter.
I am. You're right.
It's filled with Al Bundys everywhere.
But also funny memes and dog pictures.
Well, that's why you have to curate your timeline to avoid the Al Bundys.
Bro, I had my timeline curated, and then the car guy bought the thing, and now I'm getting random stuff.
Hand it over to me. I'll help you fix it.
You want to help me curate?
Yes.
That's like the conversation I had yesterday with my dad, who is taking care of my mom, and he called me because I'm his tech support, and it's fine. And he was having trouble with his phone. His phone wasn't ringing, and I know what it is. He turned the little button on the side down with his cheek or something, and now it's on vibrate. He's very upset, and then you kind of get like old man frustration directed at you, where like it's my fault, and he doesn't mean it.
I got that yesterday too.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, Dad, I'm trying to help you. I know what a good dang button is, David. I know. I'm trying to lead you through. And
my dad was helping me with something yesterday, and he was much more frustrated about it than I was. And I'm like, dude, Dad, it's fine. It's not that big. I'm like, okay.
Right. And I feel like some of that is just general frustration and not like my kids are going to do that with me someday. It's going to be like, oh, the VR thing is, I can't pet my dog in Europe with my VR hand, or I don't know, whatever it'll be. And, I'll be very frustrated about it. And there you go. So what else is new, guys? What I miss? What's the
all of the stuff?
So much stuff.
Yeah.
You missed you jinxing the Kings against the Jazz again. That was fun.
How?
You picked Simone to go for over 10 points, and he did. Well, they lost by 8.
As I told Dave yesterday, you picked Jared Saltalamacchia.
That's right. That's a great poll, dude. I mean, that was
plus points.
There was that.
Can I just say
we determined Paul Riddle has a metal detector.
Paul detector has a metal riddle.
Yep. Wow.
I just want to bring up that since you guys forced me to admit that the Kings were likely to make the playoffs, they're 1-2.
Okay.
Better than 0-3.
That's true.
I still have the bag. It's guaranteed.
It's in the bag. It's in the bag?
Yes.
And we're going to have to talk later because I still – I can talk about the thing. I can talk about the thing. I was told I can talk about the thing. So we just had to make sure everything was cool. Our good friends at Jiffy Lube. Notice whenever anything good happens, 99% of the time on the show, it's because of Jiffy Lube, and which is why that's where you need to get your oil changed because they're rad. That's a good read. We are getting away next week. We will be in Portland for both of those games. And
fun.
Get used to this because as we get closer to the playoffs and as we get into the playoffs, we're going to be traveling for a lot of this, and we're going to be bringing you as much coverage as possible. Post game, hopefully we're going to do our Kevin Herter interview in person.
Are you guys going to be in the locker room?
I think I will be in the locker room.
What?
Well, Jason's got duties.
Are you going to get Cliff Robinson again?
Dude, you know what? You know how many times I've been in the locker room at Gold One Center?
0.
You know how many times I've been in the media room at Gold One Center?
Once.
No, I've never been in the media room at Gold One Center. I've never been in.
So you're gonna be in Portland's more than
ours. Actually, that's a lie. I was in the
Moda Center, Dave. Am I right?
I was in the locker room here, but it was on the it was on one of the pre-tours.
Oh, right.
When they gave us the tour before it opened. I think
we
it
wore
was
helmets.
hard
hats.
I think it was cement floors.
Yeah.
We're going to be down there. We're going to be getting you stuff from the team hotel, pregame, postgame, whatever. We're going to get as much as they give us, and we're going to bring you guys all the content here and on SactownSports.com. And I'm not saying I want them to lose so that they can clinch in Portland. I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay. But that'd be fun.
I will say this. If they're going to be the 3 seed, which I think Vegas would say that's probably the
odds are great,
then I don't care clinch in Portland. As long as it's the 3 seed. That's fine. I don't want it to cost them a seed.
So we got to lose some games here.
Well, they've got, there's some.
They have 3 games before Portland, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix is one of them. Do they have to lose more than? Well, I guess it depends on what everybody else does,
probably at least 2.
You think they have to lose it? Yeah, they're not. They're not clinching in Portland. But you know what? We'll be there for their first clinched road trip if that happens.
There you go.
Right?
What? Sure.
Brought to you.
Yes.
As if you the first road trip in 16 years where the Kings have clinched.
There you go.
A playoff spot. See? There you go. We got a lot for you today. Leading off. Oh, we got to go, or we got to go. I didn't even get to leading off.
Oh.
Well, I missed you guys.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
We can lead off next.
Kings, Celtics, Japan beats the United States. Is the United States overrated? Yeah, we'll get into all that. We'll do leading off coming out of the break next.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Truck Month?
This month, you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. Plus, we have over 600 new Ram trucks available, which means we have the truck you want at the price that will work for you. That's what makes us California's #1 Ram truck dealer and #3 in the nation.
Oh, with all the options in Sacramento, how does Hoblet manage to be the #1 Ram truck dealer over and over again?
Well, our true pricing policy is a big part of it. The price you see is the price you pay. No bait and switch or surprise add-ons like other places. Plus, we know times are getting harder, which is why we don't mark up our trucks like everyone else.
Hey, if you're tired of being taken advantage of or just being the next sucker, come experience the difference at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$10,000 total net savings after $4,000 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Capital qualifying $1,000 case, C&H, or New Holland equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying equipment after December 1st, 2020 to qualify. 5 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Why are you not working?
Consecutive time.
My fault.
Their 50th win.
Thank you for taking responsibility.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out. A 5 games and 7 nights stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
43-29. That means there are 10 games left. They have to go 7-3 now to hit 50.
Yeah.
Amen.
If they do that, by the way, guaranteed 3.
Guaranteed 3.
Phoenix can't get to 50.
Nope.
Nobody else can get to 50.
Nope.
Memphis can. Denver can.
Nope. 50 wins would be
It's a great number. It's great. I think that's a good target to go for.
I predict 49.
Okay. And if it's 49 and they go 3-2 and 3-2, that's kind of what's
absolutely okay.
Be just fine. And that would also likely be the 3 seed.
I am a little sad though because my plans to go to Denver last game of the year, it's probably not going to work.
Slip sliding a little bit.
Yeah. Either way, the Kings. Listen, there's not going to be a lot of fired up today. If you're here for fired up, I'm sorry. There's not going to be a lot of fired up. The Kings are a good team. They're having a great year.
Yep.
They're one of the best teams in the NBA. They're not as good as the Celtics.
100% agree with all of that.
Like, isn't that okay to say?
I mean, it's really amazing the leaps they've made, and then everybody wants the leap to be all the way to the top. And maybe there's a formula somehow that happens in a couple of months.
Yes.
But I would predict that wouldn't.
I think there's a perspective thing. Like, yeah, I want them to be a championship team right now. I think we all can agree on that. I also know that at the beginning of the year, if you told me 43-29, I'd have made a mess. Like that's insane.
You could have even told me that at the All-Star break.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like not happening. So I said this last night. End the streak. And end the streak.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I want them to win a championship after that. I want them to win in the first round, second round. But everything's house money after that. To me, everybody can fan how they want to fan.
Sure.
And if you're a fan that's like first place, second place is first loser, boy, that's a high bar.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to have you're not going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Not with this team. Maybe someday, but that means that like 1 year you're going to be happy. And then the following year, that same person will be like, oh, if you got to defend the title to be a champion.
It's called the no context crowd.
Right. Like, guys.
Then in your lifetime, however old you are, you haven't seen many. I mean, there's a lot of organizations that have never won.
Absolutely. So you're just going to be disappointed every year.
Yeah.
And I know we have this ring culture thing.
Right.
that's so prevalent, but golly, the ride is fun. And you know what I say, guy, like I honestly think that's a really small sliver of Kings fans. And I don't want to insult the other fans by addressing those people so much, because guess what? Those folks, they're not going to, it's not going to change their mind. They're going to be upset or not. And well, if it's a 5-game losing streak, let's talk.
I feel like if we're doing like those folks, whoever that might be, like they could win a championship, but they won it in 6.
Right.
Like if you're really good, you win in 4.
You got to sweep them,
like,
too.
Okay.
This happened yesterday. I'm going to play the whole call because I was waiting for this. Jason, you and I, and Jay, I think you too, we're all kind of connoisseurs of the play-by-play. So I have some nominees for you. This could be a fun summer segment, but I have some nominees for y'all. That was the game winner. You know what I'm saying? That was the game winner. That was Shohei Ohtani striking out Mike Trout. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but just absolutely insane call. And I don't know if you had a chance to see the other night, Jason, but the Japanese walk-off when they walked to send them there, I think was an absolutely even better call. Now, I speak no other languages fluently, but emotion is universal. And I would say here is the Japanese call from the other night. If I can unmute the site, there we go. And here we go. Now, let's just say, to be fair, sounds like the color guy's jumping all over the play-by-play,
and maybe
guy.
even laughing in there. I like it.
I don't know why, but it works there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate it normally, but for some reason it works there. Maybe it's because I'm not trying to hear what the guy's saying because I don't understand what he's saying. So that would be nominee number 1. Okay. I don't know if you've had a chance to hear these, but this is what Victor Hovland's hole-in-one sounded like in Norway.
Så det Victor. På det lange 8. par 3-hullet. Se på det slaget til Victor Hovland! Kom igjen da! Ja da! Ja da! Han drar ned på hull 8! Vår mann!
Now, I don't know. Are you familiar with the Victor Hovland folks?
I'm not.
You're not familiar. So there are these guys that basically they just call Victor Hovland golf for Norway, and they are so ridiculously over the top. This is him making a putt to win a tournament.
For et øyeblikk. Ja, nå det bare å klamre seg fast her. Putter for Norges første PGA-tur-seier Victor Hovland.
Han flytter jo hullet, så har han den der! Han mener alvor! Den så hard! For en måte å vinne på!
Did he make it?
Yeah, spoiler alert, he did. Like, that's all they do. They just flip out. He's like their national hero. They just flip out over Victor Hovland stuff. The WBC we're going to get to at 6:43, but I will say this, my disdain for baseball, my absolute disdain for baseball was my love was reawakened with this tournament in a sense. And I don't know if that's a good thing because it's almost,
so you're ready for the season.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like going from a 5-star restaurant and now it's like, here's some French fries. Not that French fries are bad.
Yeah.
But all right, 1 of 162. Now, okay. Let's go. It's awesome. And no, this was the best baseball that has nothing to do with my team that I've ever seen in my life. By the way, last night's game, the most watched baseball game in history.
Yeah.
By a pretty wide margin. So
baseball's back.
Yeah, I'm sure Rob Manfred's going to figure something out awesome with that whole thing. I'm sure they're really going to capitalize and do it perfectly. We're bouncing all around here, but what does that have to do with the Sacramento Kings? They want to do a midseason tournament at some point.
Yeah, I thought from what I heard, and it's really cool, but we were at the broadcast meetings this year. There was talk like it was happening next season, but I haven't heard that as much.
I think the tough part there is going to be they're trying to get that collective bargaining agreement set right now.
Yeah.
And now you're asking these guys to play a midseason tournament in the middle of load management and all this fun stuff. And the players are going to want things. Before we break, let's get back to last night's game. It was a tough game. And Matt Barnes said it was a reality check.
Well, obviously, Sacramento is a young and up-and-coming team. And every once in a while, you get a reality check. They're trying to get to where Boston is and where Boston is going. So I think tonight was one of those reality checks. Granted, it came off a back-to-back and a tough loss last night. There's still levels, Kyle, and this team has to continue to improve and still be ready for the playoffs.
I think it's well said.
It's spot on. And, they could have beaten them, too. Let's say they did. And you go, they haven't arrived. You have to do that more and more times and in the postseason.
Right.
So, but I think that he's right on.
Right now, the Kings are a fun regular season story.
Absolutely.
They're possibly, and we think probably, the best story in the NBA.
Yeah, they are the best story.
That doesn't mean that they're going to win a single playoff game. And I would encourage everyone, like I said, everyone can fan how they want to fan, but man, it's a lot less stressful. Take it from a guy who's stressed a few times about this team. Just house money.
Yeah, enjoy the mess out of this season. It's incredible what they're doing. It really is. I hope people are appreciating it.
We'll take a break when we return. So Mike Brown had said he wanted to break down the rest of the season in 5-game increments. Let's revisit since the break how they've done and what's coming up. We'll do that next on Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami. I think Josh McDaniels looks at a football organization like a lion looks at a pride. Like there can only be one alpha, and he gets in the, he saunters over into the pride, and he spots the threats and who needs to be gotten rid of, and who needs to be taken out. And I think that's why you see like a Darren Waller, a Derek Carr, they're out.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Cold day today with temperatures that are only going to be warming into the upper 40s to lower 50s by this afternoon. Chance for showers will increase through the day today with even some possible thunderstorms with hail. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitril, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitril is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitril free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitril dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 800-993-2150, 800-993-2150. Free bottles for limited time. So call now, 800-993-2150, 800-993-2150.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
If you are like the thousands of people that take advantage of March for replacing your heating and cooling system, then this message is for you. Hi, I'm Mario, owner of Attic Man Heating and Air, and March is the most popular month for replacing old, inefficient heating and cooling systems because of milder temperatures and end-of-winter rebates. If you've even contemplating replacing your old AC system, act now. Take advantage up to 5 years of interest-free financing and 10-year warranties. I know, it sounds way too good to be true, but it is true. 10 years of worry-free operation, but you have to book online today at atticmanhvac.com. Attic Man Heating and Air.
At Elk Grove Honda, we'd like to help you purchase your next new Honda. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a regular basis, including the newly designed CR-V, new design Accords, exciting Civics, and much more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory offers choices there as well. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. You can't host movie night on your phone's hotspot. It's time for real home internet on the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. New customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet for just $25 a month for 2 years during our Xfinity 10G network launch celebration, now through April 23rd. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 night stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout. And Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., and Kings studio analyst and former King Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Pass goes to the corner. Brown for 3. Scores it. Jaylen Brown. Celtics on top by 3 for the second time. Sabonis now draws a double team, and the ball's knocked away by Tatum. Tatum drives end to end, scores. Smart drives into the paint. Wraparound pass. Great pass to the wing. White for 3. He hits the triple.
Yeah, it was a whooping. It was a whooping. How many whoopings have we really seen this year with the Kings? And I'm not talking about, like, you know, the Wizards came here.
Yeah, our Kings played terribly that game. I didn't think they played terribly yesterday. They were outclassed.
It wasn't like and by the way, I hear everyone. I do. I hear everyone with the officials. The officials,
I didn't think they had a great night, but
yeah, like
Kings still got worked.
They didn't help, but that's not why they lost the game.
Right.
It's not even close. By the way, Celtics shot 2 more free throws. Not that tells the whole story, but it's not like it was, game 6, 2002 here. Let's and weirdly enough, Jason Tatum was 6 of 11 from the line.
Yeah. Fastest cookies ever. He missed the 2 in the first minute.
And who would have had it? who would have had Jason Tatum missing those free throws, who's a 85% free throw shooter, 85% pretty much for his career. And he missed 5 free throws last night, but that's not why. They got outscored 72-55 in the second. If you count that, really, in the second half, if you count the second quarter, I think it was 102-77.
Yeah. It finished at the end of the first half with a 9-0 run because the Kings were ahead most of the first half, playing well. Boston finished on a 9-0 run to have the lead. And then the third quarter, to me, is the quarter. I know if you look at just the box score, they were outscored 40-31. You had to watch the quarter.
Yeah.
Because 9-point differential is not that big of a deal. It was a clinic by Boston. They went, I had the notes here, 15 of 21, 7 of 12 from 3, scored a smooth 40. I mean, it was just like, man, they are executing perfectly. So that was just a level above the Kings.
They're just not as good as the Celtics, the team that was a couple wins away from a championship last year, the team that for most of the season had either the best or second best record in the NBA. Yeah. And the Kings, who haven't made the playoffs in 16 years, are barely not as good as the Celtics.
Yeah, Boston might win about 57, 58 games.
Yeah, they got their 50th, I think, last night. Okay. Yeah. And really we've said this before, the only 3 teams that have really kind of manhandled the Kings this year all are in the East. They're all at the top of the East. And that's Milwaukee, Boston, and Philly. And even Philly, there was that 2-point loss at home.
Yeah.
Which, the score didn't dictate the game itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so 3 teams are markedly better than the Kings in the NBA.
Yeah, and, the Kings will make the playoffs, and they will not have to play all 3. If they somehow made it to the finals, they would play one of them. If they made it that far, they'd be supremely confident. They'd have days off. They'd be as prepared as you possibly could.
Yes.
I'd love that whole scenario, but that's a long way away, and I don't even know if that's something that'll happen.
Trevor says on the YouTube chat, and by the way, hello to everybody in YouTube. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. And thanks to everybody joining everywhere as well, no matter how you're listening, on your smart speaker, in your car, wherever it may be, on the app. Said all the chowderheads in the arena. That was the worst part. Otherwise, it was fun. It was really Boston-y yesterday. And it's one thing if fans are, listen, Boston is one of the 2 most legendary franchises in the NBA. They're going to travel well. They're going to have a lot of fans. That's fine. But it just so, and some of this wasn't everyone's fault, but we know Kyle Draper worked, at least on the TV. I felt it was just so Boston-y. Kyle Draper was Boston's guy before he came here. That's not a shot at Kyle. Kyle had our backs. He was going at Boston fans for chanting, "Let's go Boston." Love it. Love Kyle. Then you had Paul Pierce, which is a great get for them, but he was on the pre-half and post. And how are you going to say no to that? But still, okay, that's kind of Boston-y. Then everybody in the crowd for the pre-half and post is Boston. Nick Cattles was there. I know he was enjoying it. That was Boston. And then last night, the little what they call a chyron, the it's not a lower third, but the little slab you see at the bottom of the TV screen that tells you the story on NBC Sports, California. Be humble, sit down. Celtics slay Kings with 23-point win. What? And I'm not super Homer guy. I want our broadcasts and everything to be, little touch, a sprinkling of Homer, but straight down. But that's it. Tell us how you really feel. Come on, man. We just got destroyed at home. I don't want our home broadcast team going, be humble. You be humble and sit down. We don't need that. How about Kings did their best? Yeah, I probably wouldn't like that either. Kings tried hard. And we had a former Celtics broadcaster I got to do a show with today.
Longtime Celtics broadcaster.
But 0-1, right? Didn't they lose that one? Or they win that one?
The Kings won.
That's what I'm saying. 0-1 for the Celtics. Yeah, so you're actually kind of a good luck charm. So you're forgiven. 5-game increments. Mike Brown said, I want to divide the season in 5-game increments. After the All-Star break, wanted them to go 3-2. In every increment. How have they done, Jason?
For those that are panicking?
Yeah.
11-4. So 5-0, 3-2, 3-2. By the way, survey the entire rest of the season. One other stretch that was 11-4. There's none better.
So the second best stretch of the season happened.
Tied for. Yeah. When they lost to the Warriors in game 9, they were 3-6. Then they went 11-4. No other stretch of this year. So they're still playing their best basketball, counting 2 straight losses.
Also, not for nothing, and it would have made a difference last night, but also missing Kevin Huerter.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
You'd want to be complete if you can. Injuries are a factor. And, yeah, there were a lot of things that took. I think a lot of people went into less. I mean, if you're hanging your hat on the loss yesterday, I mean, personally, I'm not that concerned about it. But
I'm zero concerned.
Yeah.
Literally zero concern. What did the loss tell you that you didn't probably already know, unless you're the most optimistic of optimistic?
Right. And now I think you just go, okay, what they've done great at is not spilling. They had the 4-game losing streak to start the year. They had a 3-game losing streak. Other than that, they've had some 2s. Nothing more than that. That's making them a consistently good team. And if you can get back at it with Phoenix, and if you don't, then end it after Phoenix. And if you just want to keep pounding out wins if you can get them here. And so the playoff picture, the seeding, all that looks really good. You just got to get back on track.
I'm looking here. I want to say they have 2 games. I believe 2 games left. Well, no, count the Warriors. So 3 games. The Warriors are 37-36 right now.
Okay.
So the Kings have 3 games out of their next 10 against teams that are 500 or above. And that includes the Warriors.
Yeah, and one of them's the next game.
One of them is against Phoenix at home, and then that final game against Denver, which now we go back to looking like it's probably going to be a game where Denver doesn't play their studs.
And maybe even Sacramento does. If Kings are locked in at 2 or 3, I would almost guarantee, why would they play anybody?
Let me ask you this. The Kings are locked in at 3.
Mm-hmm.
You go into Denver. Denver's not playing their guys, but they have 49 wins.
Kings?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just...
I would guess they wouldn't play their guys. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Knowing that you've got a much bigger goal than 49 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, than 50 wins, I guess, at that point.
Phoenix, Utah, Minnesota, Portland. Utah and Minnesota are at home along with Phoenix. Portland on the road, but Portland seems seemingly packing it in. That should be very easily 3-2, 4-1, and an outside chance. I think they have as much chance of going 5-0 as they do 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put those odds pretty similar. Then Spurs at home, at Pelicans, at Mavs, Warriors at home, Denver. Warriors will probably be playing for something. Denver may not. I mean, that's probably a 3-2, maybe a 4-1. I don't think a 2-3. So,
yeah, like we said earlier, 3-2 and 3-2, and both of those get you to 49 wins. You're going to be at least the 3 seed.
We will spend one segment on the show on baseball, and we're specifically talking about the World Baseball Classic. We're gonna talk a little broadly from 50,000 feet about that whole thing. It was going on during the Kings game last night. If you didn't get a chance to see it, if you haven't caught the tournament this year, it's impossible to not. I got sucked in. It's some of the best, most fun baseball I've ever seen in my life. Japan wins. We'll get to it next.
Catch every Niners game right here.
It's a new partnership. It's a new day. We're going to be able to build some things together. But let's not fool anybody. This has always been a Niners town.
Here's Purdy out of the gun looking for McCaffrey on the goal line. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports, your official home for 49ers football in the 916.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes.
Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
When was the last time you heard of a new car for only $298 a month? How about today at Elk Grove Kia? Your choice, 2023 Kia Forte GT or 2023 Kia Soul EX for only $298 a month. Incredible. With Elk Grove Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Why would you buy anywhere else? Worried about credit? Elk Grove Kia specializes in helping folks get the credit they deserve. No credit, little credit, bad credit, no problem. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, repos, no problem. Looking for the hard-to-find models, Tellurides, K5s, EV6s? Check us out online at elkgrovekia.com or come see us at the Elk Grove Auto Mall today. 2023 Kia Soul EX 298 plus tax, 48 month lease, $31.95 customer cash to assigning residual of $15,603.80 based on 10K per year, 20 cents per mile overpayment based on 01740 plus FICO score. Kia Finance approval. This payment GTA 858 2023 Kia Forte GT 298 plus tax, 36 month lease, $39.95 customer cash to assigning residual of $13,140 based on 10K per year, payment at 01740 plus FICO score. Subject to Kia Finance approval. This payment GTA 858 both expires 3/31/23.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
The clock is ticking. Get off the bench and head down to Fasteners Tool Outlet, where you'll find the lowest prices on Milwaukee power tools and so much more. Why pay more at a big box store? Get a triple-double at Fasteners Tool Outlet with weekly and monthly offers, including up to 50% off select hand tools, batteries, power tools, and fasteners. Whether you're looking for a Festool sander, a Saw's top table saw, or a Milwaukee impact driver, Fasteners Tool Outlet has the tools you need to do the job. Make a slam dunk with Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power End Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
No clue, but I'm guessing it was something about it was a good mood in the Japanese broadcast booth. I'm Dave. That's Jason, taking all the way till 10 a.m. Katie Christensen will join us at 8. Kenny Thomas at 9 a.m. Japan beats the United States in the World Baseball Classic final, and what a moment. Unfortunately, a double play that Mookie Betts hit into kind of dampened the moment a little bit, but there for a moment, because the leadoff hitter got on, drew a walk, there was a setup where Shohei Ohtani was going to face his teammate Mike Trout, arguably the two best players in baseball, with the winning run at the plate. Trout hits a home run, it's a walk-off, that type of thing. In this case, because of the double play, bases were empty, but it was still a one-run game.
Sure.
Trout's the tying run, and everyone's this is just heat versus heat. And Japan had both their pitchers, the starter and Ohtani, throwing 100 plus, and it was electric. Everyone knew they were witnessing this insane moment, and as pitchers generally will do 70% of the time in the worst of scenarios for them, Shohei Ohtani strikes out Mike Trout. That's going to be a fun clubhouse this year.
Yeah, I had said that scenario yesterday, Jay. Could you, because we knew Ohtani wasn't starting, but there was talk that he was going to come out of the bullpen. Could you imagine if he's in a spot where he faces Trout? I didn't anticipate it to be for the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
You look at what Team USA did, where they, I think it was the 7th inning, they left runners on. They left runners on all day. The double play there.
Yeah.
Home runs by Turner and Schwarber. But it just, when I saw the clip, so I wish I'd seen it live because the Kings game was going on, but I saw the clip of Shohei talking about, let's not admire them,
right?
That kind of stuff. And then when they won, his reaction, throwing the glove and going nuts,
right?
I mean, that's what you love. It's sport. You love that about sports.
This is not the most demonstrative person,
right?
Shohei Ohtani is.
That's Keegan Murray going nuts.
Very much.
Yeah.
He's not emotionless, but he's very stoic.
Yeah.
In how he operates. And they just lost their minds, and it was so cool to see. I had no problems with Japan.
Not at all. It's great.
It was awesome. Good for them. They play a wonderful brand of baseball over there, and there's some prospects that I think eventually will, as many of them do, will make their way over here that are going to be very exciting. But that, I don't know. There are two things going on in my head right now, Jason, as a baseball fan. Number one, that's some of the most fun baseball I've ever seen in my life. Number two, I don't know what Major League Baseball can draw off of that specifically. Like, what are you going to have a tournament as your season? No.
But a lot of those players, obviously all the Team USA are in the major leagues, but Shohei is there. You've got to, I still think we've said it for a while, you've got to highlight baseball stars. There's a lot of good baseball players right now, present day, active.
Yes.
That aren't getting enough national love.
No, absolutely. And in these cases, you got, patriotism always helps.
Mm-hmm.
There's you have to allow for the patriotic bump. That's why, when was the last time you watched swimming?
Right. In the Olympics all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
But absolutely. So of course you have to allow for the country versus country. That's the best rivalries. That's the one that transcends everything. But when you look at the numbers, for example, Japan versus Italy, 62.5 million people watched. Japan versus Korea, 55 million, a little over 55 million watched. Now, to put this in perspective, the most watched World Series game ever, 54.5 million in 1980. So I don't have the numbers yet. They should come out later today, but it's almost impossible that last night was not the most watched baseball game in history.
Yeah.
But
not here.
No.
Part of that too, honestly, it was on FS1.
Which is so stupid. Come on, Fox. Call an audible, man. At some point during the tournament, you got to have a conversation to say, hey, you know what? Hell's Kitchen season 97 and 60 Day Fiance or whatever the hell they're running on Fox. That's not going to be the World Baseball Classic.
I know the Super Bowl is always number one every year, but if the Super Bowl was on FS1, it would be lower. It just would be.
Yeah.
It's cable. It's different.
Put it on True TV. See what happens.
Right.
People watch True TV once a year. And I know there's what is the show? They have Crank Yankers or what? There's like one show on there. People always, every time I mention True TV, like, nobody watches True TV. I haven't had DirecTV in 10 years, and I know that True TV is channel 246 just because they did 245, 246, 247 for TBS.
Oh, for the tournament?
Nice. They just kept it there, which was super smart of them. And you see Shohei Ohtani, who, let's just say it, he's the most unique baseball player to ever live. Like, we're seeing ridiculousness right now. We're seeing, this is truly the Japanese Babe Ruth, the second coming of Babe Ruth, whatever you want to say. And he's got 1 year left in Anaheim, Oakland, whatever it is. I saw Jay mentioned Bonte Hill, a Bay Area host, say this. I couldn't agree with it more. We were only 5 million off with each other, but Shohei Ohtani's paying him $70 to $75 million a year, especially in a world where you have, you have a cap, but you don't. You have a luxury tax, but you don't. I think that's I think we're looking at like the first 10 years, $600-700 million player, and that might be low,
right?
Because you're effectively getting, at least right now, 2 All-Stars. He's going to be 29. You're going to get him for 5 years of his prime. With these contracts, it never works out, where long term it works out. But also remember, you're not just getting 2 all-stars and saving yourself a roster spot. You also have the Ichiro effect, the Yao effect, I'm trying to think of somebody else that came over in any sport. When you have like an entire country behind a guy, you're getting that's. Did you ever notice they still have it in Houston, Jason, for the Rockets? Yao hasn't played there in God knows how long. You ever watch a Kings-Rockets game, you're going to see advertisements in the background, literally in Chinese.
Right.
They still have a massive following there because you have this nation of 1 billion plus that they became Rockets fans because of Yao. You have the same thing in Seattle. Go watch a Seattle game. You're going to see Japanese advertisements. Ichiro's been retired for years. So it's not just on the field, but financially, it makes a lot of sense to sign Shohei Ohtani.
And that's the one thing going back to why aren't people watching baseball in America? He is a superstar. Unique is the perfect way to say it. We haven't seen anybody like him in our lifetime. And so even when they play the A's or they're playing the Tigers or they're playing, pick your team, that park should be full to watch them. They're not all full. And it just, baseball is a great game to go watch in person. Yes. I know people watch them on TV, some too, but it just, if that kind of star was in basketball, like that unique, that universally thought of as a unicorn, that player would fill out every arena.
And honestly, the closest I think we've had in our in the last 10, 15 years would be LeBron James, and he fills out every arena.
Yes.
Everywhere he goes, it's filled out.
Right.
And that's how it should be for Shohei Ohtani. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's look at where the Kings are in general from 50,000 feet, where they are, where they're going, and so much more as I desperately try to avoid saying it. We'll do that right up next on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
For your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie. I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cold day today with temperatures that are only going to be warming into the upper 40s to lower 50s by this afternoon. Chance for showers will increase through the day today with even some possible thunderstorms with hail. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
When it comes to your sewer, what goes down must come out. Get a detailed video inspection absolutely free with any sewer drain cleaning and keep life flowing in the right direction. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitril, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitril is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitril free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitril dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 800-993-2150, 800-993-2150. Free bottles for limited time. So call now, 800-993-2150, 800-993-2150.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pi customer.
The other workers' comp insurance company, they were going to reclassify our business, and then they were going to charge me $50,000.
Meet Natalie, owner of the carpentry shop. Shocked by an unexpected bill, she knew it was time to switch her workers' comp provider. That's when she found Pi Insurance.
When we got the quote back from Pi, it was a sigh of relief. They put us in a policy where we fit.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
I'm grateful that there's a company out there that's willing to insure us little guys because every dollar counts.
With Pi Insurance, you get pricing and coverage made for small businesses. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Hands up. No fouls. No fouls. Yes. Great job. Timeout. Hello, Sacramento, and all you listeners, it's Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store. Did you know that when your feet are not properly supported, your whole body can become misaligned, causing pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back? Good Feet arch supports are designed to support all 4 arches of the foot, placing the feet in their ideal pain-relieving position and aligning the body from the feet up. Good Feet arch supports come in a wide range of over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes, so customers can be precisely fit with the arch supports that meets their personal needs. It's one reason why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. Visit the Good Feet store now for a free personalized arch support fitting and then take them for a walk. Experience for yourself the pain-relieving comfort, balance, and support of Good Feet. In Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
If the sticker price markups that new car dealers are demanding are scaring you away from a brand new vehicle, you can still get the vehicle you want and save thousands at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. M&S Auto has literally hundreds of gently used but beautiful Silverados, Rams, and Tacomas. And if you love muscle cars, they've got Challengers and Mustangs too. M&S Auto Sales. Great cars and trucks and fair deals every day. Come and get yours. MSAutogroup.com.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Goldfield Trading Post, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and Richard Wood Home Furnishings.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 night stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., and Kings studio analyst and former King Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
You know, where you get the bosses too. I was thinking about this yesterday. We don't have a lot of perks here other than we have a great job and all that. But I'm talking about and cookies.
Speak for yourself. I was going to say we had cookies on Monday.
Okay, so what about this? Would it be a good investment? Okay.
I feel like the answer is no, but I also feel like it's something I'm going to want them to invest in. So go ahead.
This would be the top one dumbest thing I do today, and that's saying a lot because it's 7 a.m. Seriously, because I assure you, on my own children, I did not think this through as many things I will say on the air, because the question I was just about to pose to the two of you is, do you think it'd be worth it to have them invest in like a cluster, a barber that was here that way, came like once a week and you could go in and get haircuts and leave and all that. And I wasn't even thinking about.
I get my haircut.
Well, that's a good point. Yes, you do. And so do you. You know what? I take it back.
I cut my own hair.
I cut mine yesterday.
Once a week. You go downstairs, make a little appointment on work day.
So why do you want this?
So I don't have, I need a haircut.
Oh.
And the thing is, I would get my haircut so often.
Why wouldn't you do it during the show?
I would 100% get my haircut.
Shop.
I used to get my haircut years ago when I had hair on
EJ's
air.
little people? Yeah, me too.
Wasn't any little people. It was actually a very large human being.
Kids? No? Okay.
I would cut my hair. Shout out my guy Ray, the barber.
Just saying. By the way, I've never been to like a barber shop before.
Really?
People talk about like going to the barber shop and everyone's talking. And I always feel like my image of a barber shop is coming to America. Like, honestly, that's what I think of.
Real talk?
Yeah.
Very similar vibes.
I've never been to one. It's always been a Supercuts or a Great Clips or a Sports Clips or a whatever.
That might be the most Caucasian thing you say all day.
I'm just being honest, man. And I need to do that.
I used to go to the barber shop when I had hair. Again, it was an experience.
You ever notice your hair how your hair gets cut is also highly determined on which person cuts the hair. You just sometimes I'll go in and I'll come up and be like, oh my God, easy on the clippers. And then other times it's like again, coming to America where you just snips the braids like,
that's
$10.
That's why you go to the barber shop, because you have a barber.
Because you have a relationship with them.
Yes.
I'm just saying, have somebody come in.
At your age, you need to find at least a stylist. You are too old to go to Great Clips, bro.
Why?
Because you're too old. You need a stylist at this point. If you're not going to go to the barbershop, go find a stylist.
Isn't it kind of the opposite?
No, it's like
when you're younger, you need a stylist.
Dude, it's like at your age going to the pediatrician.
Okay,
first off, at your age.
First off, I don't like
you
you're
people
too old and at your age. Secondly, here's what most people don't understand. It has very little to do with the cut. It has almost everything to do with how you style it.
No, the cut matters.
The cuts are generally
okay.
But 9 times out of 10, you get a great cut. You're still putting a hat on it.
Exactly.
Not when I first get it cut.
Yeah, for like 2 days.
I always come in for like a couple days and I take the time to do it. But
dude,
listen,
we're gonna find you a stylist.
Bring it. You know what? Honestly, we should have a stylist. I'm sure that's not a federal crime or anything, but we should have a stylist come in and cut hair for us on the air.
Endorsement. There you go.
There you go.
Make the company money.
I endorse the Sacramento Kings, as all of us do. Most of you listening, I am sure. The 2-game losing streak. Is Mike Brown on the hot seat, Jason?
No.
Okay.
Back to you.
So looking at all of this horror and terror and everything that's horrible about this terrible team that is 0-2 now in the last 2, what has that done in the standings?
Moved them down to 3rd, right? They're chasing Memphis. Game and a half. Game and a half behind Memphis. I think the goal of trying to get to 1 is getting farther and farther out of reach, right? They're 5 back of Denver. They need to be within 1 going into game 82. I think that's a reach at this point, but you never know. And I still feel comfortable about the 3 seed at the moment because Phoenix is 4.5 back. Phoenix does play tonight.
Yeah.
Phoenix also plays the Kings on Friday. So let's make it the worst case scenario. Phoenix wins tonight, they'd be 4 back. Phoenix beats the Kings on Friday. They're 3 back. There's 9 to go. I mean, they're there. They would have the tiebreaker. They'd be up 3-1. You just have to stay a game ahead of them. So I still feel really good about where the Kings are.
This is kind of a tough one. Are we Suns or Laker fans tonight?
Lakers.
Are we?
I don't think it much matters.
I think the only reason is because the Kings are 4.5, as you said, ahead of the Suns. The Lakers are a half game out of the playoffs. Don't we want the Lakers to miss the playoffs more than we want the Suns to gain a game on us or
half game?
Yeah, half game. I don't know, right?
No.
I'm to the point I don't think Phoenix will catch the Kings. So I'd probably root for the.
So we're kind of Suns fans.
That's me, but I may regret that. I don't know. Jay
no.
wants the, and I get.
I want a banner, bro.
A Pacific Division banner?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I still think that's happening with the Suns win tonight.
But I just like the feeling of putting some more
it's closer if the Lakers
space
win.
behind us.
10 games left and 4 ahead of them in the loss column. We don't get a banner now. It's like a collapse-y-collapse-erton. But then again, I remember Dave Yeager's Kings, and okay, I hear you.
Jason, you're the guru of the magic number.
Yeah.
Is the number still 4 for playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is there's so many teams. Like it adjusted on a couple teams.
Yeah.
Tonight and tomorrow is going to be a good night for the Kings. They are going to gain ground on teams.
Yeah.
Specifically because 2 teams play each other. Like last night, they gained on the Clippers. Now, that doesn't really move the needle because the Clippers are likely going to be in. We got to see about this injury to Paul George,
which was terrible looking.
Pretty bad. But, here's OKC. Right now, they're the 7th.
If the Kings are the best story in the NBA this year, Oklahoma City is the second best. And I think Oklahoma City's starting to make an argument that they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is funny how this works because how crazy is the West? Who would have thought that on March 22nd, the Sacramento Kings, Utah Jazz, and Oklahoma City Thunder are all either in the playoffs or play-ins, and the Lakers and Pelicans are not.
Right. And maybe even Portland. You might put Portland in there.
You're absolutely right. We expected the Spurs. We expected the Rockets. It was supposed to be the Spurs and the Rockets and the Jazz for sure were tanking.
And people probably thought the Kings down by 10 or 11 and right. I mean, fighting maybe for one of the play-in spots.
And I'm old enough to remember, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't the Pelicans the number 1 or number 2 seed for a minute here in the West?
Yeah, in December they were the 1 seed.
And then Zion went down and never came back up.
Now, I want to just take a quick moment. First off, Oklahoma City, they are now the 7th seed. They're a half game behind the Warriors for the 6th seed.
Yeah.
And actually being in the playoffs. They're also 1 game away from being completely out of everything. That's how ridiculous the West is right now. If the Lakers, which is kind of why it's another reason I'm rooting for the Suns. I got to be honest with you. If the Lakers miss the playoffs this year, which if the season ended today, they do, that's the 2nd straight year a LeBron James Laker team with Anthony Davis missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Also would be the 3rd time in his 5 seasons in LA.
Yeah.
And he had made 9 straight finals.
9 or 10, something like, or whatever, 8 or 9. Yeah, crazy.
And he goes to LA, the Lakers, the proud Lakers, which is why I will continuously say, since I don't get out of here with the bubble ring. It's still a ring, and I acknowledge that, of course. But since Dr. Bus died, this might be, if it's not the worst, it's a bottom 5 run franchise in the league. And my evidence is simply the 2 players they have came there and either forced their way there or voluntarily signed. This is not somebody they drafted. This is not somebody that they conducted a trade for. Yes, they traded for Anthony Davis, but Rich Paul forced him into LA.
Right.
They're not a well-run squad. And if I'm a Laker fan, well, first off, I'm a Laker fan. I probably have already switched to my Warriors or Kings jersey. But if I'm a Laker fan, I'm looking at this and I'm going, look at what Boston's doing. That's a proud franchise.
Right.
Jeannie Buss doesn't know what she's doing. Rob Pelinka, despite what he did at the trade deadline, doesn't know what he's doing.
We'll keep them all there.
I'm fine with that. That's why I guess I think I know the answer here. If I were to say to you, which would you rather have, the Kings win the Pacific Division or the Suns win the Pacific Division, but the Lakers miss the playoffs? You pick the Pacific Division, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bigger Kings fan than Lakers hater.
I'm with Jay.
I'm with you both. It's like close enough to where I had to think about it for a second. But
and here's the other thing, right? Keeping the Lakers out of the playoffs, they make the playoffs. Realistically, what's their ceiling? Realistically,
the Lakers are one of the most difficult teams to put a ceiling on if they make the playoffs, because I don't know what the parameters are. Are Anthony Davis and LeBron James healthy? Is LeBron reinvigorated? Are they, because they have pieces. Like, they have a better team now than they did at the beginning.
Can that team win the NBA championship?
Yes.
No, they cannot.
I believe that they could.
Jason?
I don't think so. But the big difference I would say is this. They're fortunate they're in the West. I think the West is open. if they were getting in and they were the 8 and they opened with Milwaukee, they're gone
done.
in 5.
They're done.
Right? I mean,
I agree.
Gone.
They're gone in 5 against Milwaukee. They're gone in 5 against Boston.
Yep.
They're gone in 5 against Philadelphia.
Correct.
All 3 of those teams are significantly better.
They are, but they're in the West. Could they beat Denver? Could they beat Memphis? Could they beat Sacramento? I mean, I think
They can't beat a healthy Phoenix team.
which they wouldn't likely face.
I know we got a break here. You're telling me that D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, that's who they're going to go with as their starting 5. Schroeder, Reeves, and Hachimura off the bench. You're telling me if they're playing at peak, they got no chance against Milwaukee, Philly?
0.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they would beat them.
I mean, I fully admit the odds would be against. I'm not saying they would beat them.
They'd be games, though.
I mean, I'm talking about they're playing at full level.
Got to get in. Decent chance they lose tonight, right? To Phoenix?
I'd be just fine with
And
that.
also, what is likelihood they're playing at full level? That's the other problem.
Yeah, I'm presenting a complete and total hypothetical that's almost certainly not going to happen. We'll take a break. When we come back, when we return, Ben Roethlisberger, a Niner? What? Huh? What? Yeah, there's that.
Who?
Jimmy Garoppolo, a Raider? Yeah, but more importantly, Jimmy Garoppolo in Vegas. Oh, that's going to be fun. And we'll talk about Shohei Ohtani and the WBC. It's 3 for Madness coming up next.
I'm Eric Armstead, and you're listening to Sactown Sports.
Armstead with relentless pursuit, and Eric Armstead came in and sacked him.
You wanted more Niners?
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's new home for the 49ers.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ATM Mortgage.
Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell with a very unique program for homeowners over 55 years old. How would you like to cut your house payment in half and maybe get some cash out too? Give ATM Mortgage a call. 916-338-9400, 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already on the YouTube page. We appreciate you. Chris Guerrero has offered to come in and cut hair. I'm good.
You asked.
Chris also wants to know when Hawaii's getting a pro sports franchise.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Big news.
Line up there, pal.
I think there's a better chance of us actually bringing Chris in to cut hair.
Then Hawaii getting a pro sports?
Yeah.
I actually agree with you. J. Mars, question 1.
Ben Roethlisberger said the 49ers reached out to him late last season about joining the roster, and he almost considered it. How would you have felt about Big Ben in the red and gold?
That's interesting.
Last year, there were some truths to the Niners thing, just in the sense that they were, I think, reaching out for some, just to maybe gauge my interest.
Right.
And so I had discussions with, and so, that's all. I don't want to sit here and say that I was going or anything like that. They called to gauge interest. Okay. I had conversations with my agent, with my wife, my family, prayed a lot about it. And I'd be lying if I didn't say there wasn't like a small part of me that was intrigued, like, oh man, I could, I could still do it, like prove to people, right, that I could still play. But at the end of the day, I just can't see myself in anything other than black and gold.
What about the beginning of the day, though?
Yeah.
I always wonder about that.
Middle of the day.
Yeah, lunchtime.
Latter part of the day.
In retrospect, you.
Yeah.
Why you?
Just you in the sense of, in retrospect, here's knowing what I know now. If Ben Roethlisberger joined the team, we probably don't get Brock Purdy and all that came with Brock Purdy. So you to that. Like in retrospect, but here's the key. We have the power of hindsight. At the time when Garoppolo went down, when Trey Lance had already been out, thank you, and we were looking at Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, are you kidding me? Yeah, I would. He wouldn't have been my first choice, But at the time, give me Ben Roethlisberger or Brock Purdy. I'm 100% taking Ben Roethlisberger. And here's another thing. Anybody out there who disagrees with me, you're a liar. You're a liar, or you're smoking the weed. Because, Jay, you're a Niner guy. At the time, you have a choice between Ben Roethlisberger or the reigning Mr. Irrelevant. If those are your two choices, you have to go with Big Ben.
Reluctantly, yes.
Same.
And you both said ew.
Because he's an ew guy.
He's an ew human.
Not the best guy.
And also not the best quarterback towards
He
the
was
end.
so bad at last season.
Like, it would have been all forms of
But
evil.
he couldn't see himself in anything other than Steelers uniform.
That means the money didn't work.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that meant.
Jason?
What?
Roethlisberger, 49er? Would you have been yay or nay? In the moment.
In the moment, probably yay, but I think the Niners dodged one there.
I agree. Yeah, in retrospect, because I think with Ben Roethlisberger, they're not in the NFC Championship. I don't think so.
Well, here's the other thing we haven't considered, and maybe this is why he didn't come back. Were they asking him to come in and back up Brock Purdy?
That we don't know.
Well, because I'm assuming the conversations happened after the Jimmy G injury, correct?
Yeah,
I mean, if it's in season, it wasn't before the season, I don't think.
He said late in the season,
Yeah.
so.
Well, and here's the thing: if the Niners are contacting Ben Roethlisberger, now I want to know: did the Niners contact Andrew Luck? Because you got to think that's still somebody people are talking to. Andrew went to Stanford.
I feel like Phillip Rivers actually would have got contacted first. I even think he might have mentioned that he considered going to San Francisco at some point.
But now this is hindsight. But if in fact you could have gotten him to come in,
who?
Roethlisberger, after you already had Purdy, maybe it was 2 games. And
Yeah.
so now you're going, well, we're going to stick with Purdy, but we need another person behind him. What about the NFC Championship game?
I'd rather have had Ben Roethlisberger than Johnson. Yeah.
There's a lot of people I would have rather had than Josh Johnson.
And I want to know if they got to Ben Roethlisberger. Now I kind of want to know, well, how far down the list was Ben Roethlisberger? And did they talk to Phillip Rivers? Did they talk to Andrew?
I swear I saw something like that.
Did they talk to Joe Montana?
Did they talk to? I would have rather had Joe Montana.
Joe Montana's still holding a grudge from that trade to the Chiefs, I'm told.
I don't blame him at
Yeah,
all.
they talked to Young as well.
Number 2.
Well, Steve Young said during the game he was ready to suit up.
He actually put out a video saying, I'm in the parking lot warming up right now.
And T.O.'s like, who's with me?
No one's like,
T.O. volunteered to play quarterback.
I'm like, I don't care. Number 2.
Question 2.
Newly minted Raiders quarterback Jimmy James Garoppolo was offered free activities for life from a pair of Vegas brothel workers.
Oh, what is that? Skee ball.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Snowboarding.
I thought it was
Snowboarding.
cribbage.
Cribbage. Yes.
15-2, 15-4.
More.
Maybe more.
Will the off-field stories of Jimmy G in Vegas continue to be more entertaining than the on-field stories of Jimmy G in Vegas?
Knobs for one. It's our cribbage crowd out there knows what we're talking about.
Well played.
I don't think so. I want them to, because he like went on the date with the porn star, and now this, and
It's adult film entertainer,
I
by
thought she
the
was
way.
an actress.
Yes, I apologize. I don't think so. I think I really want them to. Like, very much. I want there to be a reality show, Jimmy G in Vegas. Jimmy goes to Vegas, and I want it following him around as he just parties it up and has. I don't think so. I think he's just going to be quietly disappointing on and off the field.
Yeah, because that's the thing. More than the question is more than the on-field story. What are the on-field stories of Jimmy G besides
Entertaining is the word used.
Devontae Adams is quadruple teamed every game, and he has nobody to throw to. That's probably the story on how to defend the Raiders. And hope that Josh Johnson.
Who did they just sign from Tampa to play tight end?
Tom Brady?
Why am I wanting to say Christian Foria? And it's
not
100%
Christian Foria.
not Christian Foria.
It's not Brait. It was the other tight end.
It was not Cameron Brait.
OJ Howard?
I don't think it was OJ Howard. Let me see here. Now, you know what? We're stopping the showdown now to see who Vegas signed at tight end. No, well, they got Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
No, it was OJ Howard.
It's about
It
time.
was OJ Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what I said. No, he has someone to throw to.
All right, so they got Jacoby and Myers. They got
2 for 1.
Hunt for Renfro. Hunter
Hunter.
Renfro.
That could have
Okay.
went worse considering the context of this question.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? I take it back. Jacobs, Adams, Myers, Renfro, Howard. Like
championship.
might as well put the Lombardi in Vegas.
Top 5 defense behind him.
I mean, maybe arguably top 5 defensive player.
Imagine
I meant top 5 in the AFC West.
Oh, I got you.
Imagine if they ever did win the parade in Vegas.
Oh, God.
It would probably be the craziest parade ever. Like, it would just be like, would they all sit on top of the fountains of the Bellagio and just go up and down a bunch of times? Like
Up and down, all right.
Number 3.
Question 3.
Shohei Ohtani.
Now, why am I thinking of Jerry Maguire? Shohei Ohtani.
He struck out teammate Mike Trout in the bottom of the ninth to help Japan win their 3rd of 5 WBC titles. Will this be their only moment of sharing the field in an important game?
Sadly, yes. Yeah. I guess the disclaimer would have to be,
no, there's no disclaimer.
well, barring they both end up on another major league team together, or barring there's a rematch in the WBC, but they're not for the Angels. No, the Angels stink, and they have arguably the 2 best players in Major League Baseball, and they stink. And they have Anthony Rendon.
Yeah. He's been very messed since coming over from Washington. Hurt all the
Very
time.
injured.
Yeah.
I got burned last year, Jay. Remember my Angels take?
Big
And
Angels high
for about a
Jason
month. I'm like,
Ross.
I got it. Look at this. The best baseball is being played by the Dodgers, the Angels, the Yankees, and the Mets.
Yeah.
And then the Angels angeled.
Are you going to go with that take again this year?
You know what, Jay? I might give it a no. I'm not.
No.
And maybe because I actually looked. I thought the West, with the A's, I thought they were going to struggle. Seattle surprised me.
Yeah.
Houston we figured would be good, but I didn't think Texas would be any good. I go, maybe the Angels could be a team in the mix, maybe a wild card. They weren't. They struggled.
The thing is, I don't see the Angels trading Trout anytime soon or ever, possibly, which means he'll be an Angel, which by default, they cannot share an important moment.
No.
Even if Shohei signs with the Giants, right? Oh, you could have Giants Angels World Series. No, you can't.
We had it once before.
Well, we did have it once before.
Yeah, but that a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit. Weirdly enough, I'm looking at the Angels depth chart here. They have 2 named doppelgangers on their team. So they have Hunter Renfroe, and then their closer is Carlos Estevez. You guys know who Carlos Estevez is?
Emilio's brother.
That's Emilio's brother. That's Charlie Sheen. Interesting.
He's a wild thing.
Charlie Sheen. Right. Charlie Sheen's a closer for the Angels. How?
Honest to God, Charlie Sheen could probably have a better ERA than half of that staff.
Wow. Shouts
Is Dorn on that roster?
No, somebody peed on his contract, though. We'll take a break. When we come back, the East is not fun, at least at the top for the Sacramento Kings. We will do our best to not depress you by recapping the Kings versus 3 of those teams next.
It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins.
Aaron Rodgers this guy is something else, man. I definitely was fully prepared for today to be a nothing day. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. I'm glad that we can all move on with our lives now. The Jets have a quarterback. He's 38, 39 years old. Congrats.
Chris and Company with Chris Watkins. Weekdays from 10 to 11.
On Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cold day today with temperatures that are only going to be warming into the upper 40s to lower 50s by this afternoon. Chance for showers will increase through the day today with even some possible thunderstorms with hail. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Treat yourself to a new car in the new year. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for your favorite Kia model. Low interest rates, low payments, even zero down deals with approved credit. Over 20 years right here in Sacramento. That's Folsom Lake Kia.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. Are you staying warm and comfortable this winter? Take advantage of American Energy's $49 furnace tune-up today. Make sure your furnace is running efficiently and safely with their 30-point tune-up. That'll save you money in the long run and help prevent major repairs and replacements down the road. American Energy, as always, been in Sacramento since 1981. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Make the uncomfortable comfortable, and you tell me good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Hi guys, it's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Capital Casino back with indoor gaming and dining located inside at 411 North 16th Street, downtown Sacramento.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 nights stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates, going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Katie Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., and Kings studio analyst and former King Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Coming up in 32 minutes, Katie Christensen will join us on an Analyst Wednesday. Will she be on camera? I don't know. Never know until she wakes up.
Will be.
Probably not awake right now. It depends on, too. If she has her kiddo.
Oh, okay.
She's doing the school thing and all that, then she's probably up. Kenny Thomas, he will be on. Oh, he'll definitely. Kenny will be on camera. He's going to join us at 9. We'll talk to him. How does it feel to get punted for Paul Pierce?
Wow.
Yeah, I got his back. I got Kenny's back. Oh, hey, here's Paul Pierce.
Who's here on Friday? Tom Chambers.
Thank you. Right?
Yeah.
Where are we going to I don't want to say Stockton or Malone for when Utah come in, but somebody else.
Hornacek.
Yeah, it's Jeff Hornacek.
Danielle Marshall.
Is that UConn's Danielle Marshall?
Brian Russell on line 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Matt Harpering.
Oh, I love the Tom Chambers poll, by the way, too.
Thanks.
Well, great.
That's one guy to get, if I'm going to get the boot, I want it to be for Tom Chambers.
But Dan Marley. There were some pretty cool sons back in the day.
Yeah, Marley Chambers.
Yeah, Chambers Marley.
Sid Sabalos is a really cool guy.
Sid?
He's with us.
Okay.
Yes.
I know Sid was having some real health problems, but yeah.
Oh, but I mean, if you're going to pull one guy, Oliver Miller.
Yeah.
Played for the Kings and Suns.
It's a good point.
And then Monday when the T-Wolves are here, Pooh Richardson.
Pooh. Also,
Pooh Richardson, Pooh Jetter. King of the
It's gonna be
Poohs.
Mount Poohmore. Winnie.
Could you imagine if it was just Pooh Richard?
Winnie Richardson,
Jetter.
Stinky.
Derek.
Shout out Marty McNeil. The East is
stinky.
Is rough. Just so you know, the Sacramento Kings have the 22nd most difficult schedule remaining. In fact, according to this list I have, the only difficult games they have left that they consider difficult games are the Nuggets, the Suns, the Warriors, and the Mavs. The Warriors are one game above 500. I believe the Mavs are 500. So that's kind of interesting when you look at it like that. But that doesn't mean that you play to win the games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As Herm Edwards said. And when it comes to the East, the three at the top, with the exception of one game that was Philly here, just those are the three that have manhandled the Kings.
Yeah, and I think Milwaukee's win streak is 14?
Yeah.
Boston, we talked about it yesterday, the last three matchups, and now you can add yesterday. I think the closest game was 18. Last night wasn't close by the end, and so Boston has dominated the Kings.
No, they have, and it's what you saw last night that's rough acting enacted, man. that was not fun. It was. Hey, listen, it was fine for a quarter, and maybe
Probably
even arguably a half
game at halftime.
Let's see. The Kings are 43-29. They're 27-15 in conference. I'm doing that for a reason. So that's what 16, and so they're 27-15 in the West. They're 16-14 in the East. I grew up, Jason. You did too, where the West just pretty much dominated everything.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because when you look at, I remember doing this just a couple years ago. Jokic, Morant, Durant, Booker, Paul, Kawhi, Paul George. Shams Charania reporting, as we suspected, that injury Paul George suffered last night looks to be serious. Yeah, it looked serious. Steph, Clay, Dre, Kyrie, Luka, Towns, who may play today, by the way, is at least questionable. Gobert, LeBron, Anthony Davis. Like I'm doing this for a reason. Like, the West, from an all-star level, is more stacked than the East.
Mm-hmm.
But from a team level, like an overall team level, no, the East is actually better than the West this year. It starts at the top, and those three teams, Jason, the Bucks, the Celtics, and the Sixers, as we said, it has not been fun playing them at all.
Yeah, combined 6-0 against the Kings. Even just put the Kings as they're currently constructed in the East, they'd be behind Cleveland. They'd be fifth and hanging on in a fight with the Knicks for 6th. So the East top part is really impressive. But the Kings have taken advantage of a lot of the Western Conference teams being injured or having injuries or just not being dominant. And the Kings have had a really good season. But when you get to, I think Matt Barnes, who played the clip earlier, I think that the term of levels is a really accurate one. There are different levels in the league. And the Kings have elevated themselves to a really significant level. But to me, they are below Boston and Milwaukee for sure. I think Philly as well.
I agree.
And so what I don't know is, do you have to get different personnel or do they just have to play another year together? Because I think that's part of Boston's. I mean, think about last night. How many games has Horford, Smart, Brown, and Tatum played together?
A lot.
And
a lot.
Again, same group lost to Houston. Same group lost to Orlando 3 times. Same group lost to Utah the other night.
Right.
But when they're on, like they've lived a little bit together and been through things, and they're also really good.
I disagree with the premise that they're of course going to get better to a factor of X the more they play together.
Mm-hmm.
They've had tremendous health this year, but it's really the first year for them. The reason I disagree, and I do think that they're eventually, again, much like in '99, they're going to have to replace the Corliss Williamson with the Doug Christie, et cetera, is because of their defense. When you look at those three teams, the Sixers, weirdly enough, the Sixers give up the 3rd least points in the NBA. The Celtics, the 7th, Milwaukee, the 8th. You're talking, and I got to look at their net rating, but when it comes to scoring defense, you're talking about 3 of the top 8 teams in the league. I think playing together, and I would invite a coach to disagree with this, maybe I'm wrong, I think playing together, familiarity and chemistry when it comes to on floor matters far more in offense than defense because of, knowing where the guy wants the ball, knowing how he cuts, knowing when he's not going to cut, blah, blah, blah. I think that really does matter. And the Kings run their offense like they've played together for 10 years, it seems like. But ultimately, a turnip's a turnip, an egg is an egg. This is not a defensive team. They have moments, and I do think playing together longer will help. Don't get me wrong. But I think ultimately there's going to be a move, whether it's this summer or next year or whenever it is, I think where Monty's going to have to make a move that's probably not, they never are going to be popular with the fan base, especially coming off of a playoff year, where he does do who is the Corliss Williamson? Who is the guy? And he's doing it in increments. Like a Kessler Edwards is a good defender. A Davion Mitchell is a good defender, but they're going to need, too bad Mikal Bridges isn't available anymore, but they're going to need somebody to come in and really help. Otherwise, I think it's going to be their ceiling is super fun team, super fun scoring team. They're going to win 45 to 55 games. That's going to be the range. They're going to make the playoffs. We're all going to have fun with that, but they have a ceiling until they can consistently stop other teams from scoring.
Yeah.
And they can't do that right now. In spurts, they can.
Right. And I think when they're playing the majority of the teams, the non-Bostons, the non-Phillies, and the non-Milwaukees, their scoring is so special.
Absolutely.
That I don't want to say the defense doesn't matter, but it feels like they can get just enough stops where you go, that's going to help propel them along with their offense to win. Last night, one of the things I thought was interesting in the game was Boston was switching absolutely everything, and a lot of teams do that.
Yeah.
And the Kings seemingly couldn't crack that code early on. And there were more times than not, I saw Sabonis being guarded by Tatum or Brown, and I'm like, go.
Right.
Do your bully ball.
Sure.
And I felt early on he did, but as the game went along, I don't know, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy. That I know they were 5 and 7 nights, all the things, but I felt like the Kings didn't take advantage of some of the things that were in their favor during the game on those switches.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you watch these games and you see, like you said, it's just bully ball. I really am tired of seeing these guys have absolutely unfettered access to the rim. You see moments where it's like you got to have a stop, and don't get me wrong, they've done that before. They've gotten stops, but you look at what Boston does, and it was so on display yesterday, their ability to really, like Domantas Sabonis has had 2 really challenging games. And the funny thing is he's, I think, 1 assist or 1 rebound away from having 2 straight triple doubles. But when you look beyond that, Walker Kessler is a problem. And he's going to be a problem for anyone, especially big men down low. And then last night, their team defense on Domantas Sabonis might be the best I've seen him play. Their ability to stop him without getting the foul called, but without fouling, keeping the ball in play, it was phenomenal. It's not just their ability. The Kings can play defense. The problem is they can't always play defense without fouling.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that goes back to, they did play all those years together for Boston. I feel like collectively, now they got some good defensive players, but I think over time we've learned they're good defensive players. So maybe the Kings can get there, but maybe it has to be a drastic overhaul. Not overhaul, but tinkering.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some defensive tinkering. Much like you might tinker with your truck, for example. Maybe you want to lift it, lower it. You want to put in a new, I don't know anything about cars. Rack and pinion steering, 1.21 gigawatts. These are all things I picked up off of Back to the Future or, other things. Right now, enjoy Ram Truck Month and the Jeep Celebration event going on right now with our good friends at Hoblet Dodge. 10 grand off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew cabs. 15 grand off MSRP on those new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee plug-in hybrids when you lease them. Friendly hometown values. This isn't a cookie-cutter car dealership. They don't want to take advantage of you like so many others. They absolutely don't. The true pricing is at hobletdodge.com. The price you see, it's the price you're going to pay. There's no hidden fees. There's no add-ons. There's no surprises. It's why they're the #1 Ram truck dealer in California, #3 in the whole U.S. of A. Oh, say, can you see? J.D. Power Customer First Award winners for excellence since 2019. Make it happen. Captain's up to 32 miles a gallon with Ram Eco Diesel. 32 miles a gallon for a truck. That's huge. Many of those Jeeps get up to 25 miles a gallon for the highway. Search, select, and save HobblitDodge.com. No hassle, no pressure, ever dealership. You tell him Carmichael Dave sent you. It's his award to lose. That's what you hear. De'Aaron Fox, number 1 in the clutch player ladder. Let's look around and see what the competition is. Next on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The last time the Kings had a winning season, you heard this.
Back to the hoop, lays it up, around, and in, at the horn, and Arco has gone berserk,
Now it's the Beam Team's turn.
The Knicks have it. Here comes Barrett on the run. Stutter step in the lane. Double clutch. Chase down, blocked by Sabonis. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
The Sacramento Kings will finish the regular season with a winning record for the first time since 2006. Catch every Kings game on Sactown Sports.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Folks, there's a fast break with the game on the line. He dribbles down the court, passes ahead for the alley-oop, and it's blocked for a slam dunk.
Do you need an assist? Regain and optimize your performance. See what Pacific Men's Clinic can do to make your love life the best it can be. Pacific Men's Clinic's safe and pain-free, clinically proven procedure breaks up plaque and stimulates the growth of healthy new blood vessels. Call for your free consultation now at 916-545-7577. That's 916-545-7577.
You can't host movie night on your phone's hotspot. It's time for real home internet on the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. New customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet for just $25 a month for 2 years during our Xfinity 10G network launch celebration, now through April 23rd. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
If the sticker price markups that new car dealers are demanding are scaring you away from a brand new vehicle, you can still get the vehicle you want and save thousands at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. M&S Auto has literally hundreds of gently used but beautiful Silverados, Rams, and Tacomas. And if you love muscle cars, they've got Challengers and Mustangs too. M&S Auto Sales. Great cars and trucks and fair deals every day. Come and get yours. MSAutogroup.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
He's got ESPN on one of the channels. Stephen A. Smith has been going for 20 minutes now.
Straight.
They're in a split screen with Chris Mad Dog Russo, who nothing but love and respect for. But Jason and I were talking during the break. Chris Russo does look like he shows up and the stylist there just like, come on. Like he does. He looks like the guy that wears sweats and tank tops all day, every day, doesn't shave. Actually, I'm wearing sweats. And they went out and then his niece and nephew came over and dressed him up for a funeral. He just doesn't look comfortable in this environment. And I think they should just let him go.
Yeah.
Just
let him be free.
So speaking of let go, by the way, see what happens when you say nice things about the Sacramento Kings. TMZ reporting Kendrick Perkins, one of the casualties at ESPN.
Wow.
Reported
Big Perk.
Big Perk is big unemployed.
Oh, that's too bad.
A couple of Wait, are you saying that? Okay, I thought you.
No, I mean,
sorry.
I'm
Okay,
not going to see anybody lose their job.
No, I didn't know if there was a tone there. You're
No,
like, oh, that's
no
too
tone.
bad.
If it was, didn't mean it.
Yeah, no. He apparently ESPN's going to make some pretty big cuts here, and the word was nobody is safe.
Well, except Stephen A.
I was going to say Stephen A is safe. I hope Scott Van Pelt's safe.
Oh, I hope so too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
He's a treasure.
He is a treasure. Although I had a friend call me yesterday and we were talking, and then randomly he just goes, "What is the story with Stanford Steve?" I go, "Huh?" He goes, "The guy that's on with Scott Van Pelt at night." I go, I don't know. I think it was like they probably knew each other, college roommates. I don't know. Went to Stanford, I'm guessing. I honestly don't know.
So not college roommates.
Yeah, because Van Pelt went to what, Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I truly don't know, but that's like the ultimate hookup. Hey, buddy, you want to come on and talk about, he talks about betting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bad beats.
Which, by the way, I didn't get a chance to say this yesterday. My buddy calls me the day before yesterday, the Jazz game. When the Kings were down, whatever it was, 22 or whatever, he took the live bet, put some pretty decent money on Kings plus 6.5.
Okay.
So all the Kings had to do was lose by 6.5 or less.
Yeah.
Kings whittle it down. They come back. They take the lead. 6.5's looking really good. They're going to win this thing. If they don't win, they're. So what was it? It was, I think Kings were down 6 as the clock's running out. And Sabonis fouls whoever the hell he fouled. Made both free throws. And then they just, and he's sitting there thinking like, well, maybe De'Aaron will go down, just, pop a 3-pointer or something. No. So it's like, why did you foul? I didn't care because I don't bet 1-800-GAMBLER. I would, however, if I did bet, I would bet on De'Aaron Fox winning the Jerry West Award.
Yes.
This season.
Yeah.
They should name it the De'Aaron. Whoever wins it, that should be the name of the award for the next year. That's what I propose. Next year, it should be the De'Aaron Fox Award.
It would be awesome to win it in the first year. I love that for Fox if he gets it. But he's looking great.
Is the Clutch Player Award, this is an interesting convo I thought I was having last weekend. Is the Clutch Player Award a little bit of a misnomer? Because in order to be in a clutch situation, you have to be like in close games.
It can be. I mean, the Kings are in a lot of close games. There was a game here recently where Fox had a monster fourth quarter like he usually does, but they were more than whatever. I can't forget what the requirements are. Close.
It's within
6 points or something.
I want to say it's within five points or less in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
of the game.
and they were. It was like 8 points, and Fox scored like 10 straight or something like that. And you're going, well, those don't go to his clutch points, but it feels like this is a game that could go either way. He's just been terrific all season.
He has been. And when you look at the ladder, you've got, at least according to this on NBA.com. Nope, that's February 21st. Let me find a better one for y'all. But De'Aaron Fox has been number one for a while. But when you look at some of the players on here, it's like De'Aaron, Luka with Dallas, DeMar DeRozan, the Bulls. I guess that's my, and by the way, I know, Shea Gilgeous, Alexander, Oklahoma City, a lot of these teams kind of have to be at or below 500 or generally in there. Whereas I guess my question is this: and by the way, this is not taking anything away from De'Aaron. De'Aaron's the most clutch player in the NBA right now, and he should win it. And hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm saying about the award in general. I'm not necessarily sure that most points in the clutch should be the determining factor. I think we might be misleading ourselves a little bit, or at least it shouldn't be the only factor. For example, let's say Jason Tatum. The Celtics have been in a lot of not close games, but what are the percentages when you are in clutch? There has to be something that kind of evens out the numbers for the really good teams that might have the clutchiest players, but they're just not in the clutch situation as much as some of these other teams that are that close to a lot of the teams they play.
Like maybe the amount of times you're in it. I don't know. Could be a factor, but it just feels like everything Fox has done this year fits the bill, fits the trophy, 100%. Fits the acknowledgement. And he's been awesome. I trust in him. I mean, like there was a time, I would say, over the last couple of years where maybe Fox would get fouled late in the game. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to make one.
Right.
Now you trust him. I trust him to get to a spot. I trust him to make a good decision. He's done so many good things this year.
It's just so the way that the Kings and Fox have kind of set it up, where he doesn't cruise for 3 quarters by any means, but if he's at a 10 in the fourth, he probably averages a 7.5, 8, I would say, in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And then it's just Fox time. And it really becomes impossible or near impossible, depending on the team, to cover him, because he has one of the things he's done that's so amazing is he's developed that ability to just dribble the free throw line and nail it. That's it. Dribble the free throw line and nail it. And that one little piece that he's added, along with, to your point, his free throw accuracy, have just made it in a situation where, by the way, teams have had enough film. They know that De'Aaron Fox is going to do that. That's what makes it even better. They still can't stop him.
Right. And I think, one of the many things about last night, I would say, that went against the Kings, if you go to the 4 All-Stars, Tatum and Brown versus Fox and Sabonis, they got outplayed last night. And we thought that might happen yesterday, kind of previewing this game, going, look, Fox and Sabonis probably have guys that can defend them as well as anybody. So you're going to need everyone else to contribute all the way down the line. I think the Kings got the contributions they were looking for from their others, but they didn't get the Herculean performance that they normally get from Fox and Sabonis. That's with a triple-double from Sabonis. But, I mean, he had a 30-point game here recently. Fox lives near that high 20s to 30s.
Yeah.
But they got completely outscored yesterday in the Brown-Tatum matchup.
That was just – and by the way, interesting stuff involving Jaylen Brown and the Celtics, if you've been monitoring this a little bit, being aware that he was on the trade block, or if not on the trade block, that his name was mentioned in a couple of potential trades towards the deadline. And then the comments he made about Boston in general and how there's some problematic things in the fan base. We've heard that before. And listen, that's a tough one, because Boston, I feel bad for Boston fans. Well, let me back up. I feel bad for some Boston fans, because there are some amazing, awesome, super rad, not terrible people, Boston fans.
Right.
And then you've got that group that's very problematic and has been problematic. And so what I don't like is when people will try to paint, and I'm not talking about Jaylen Brown, I'm talking about other fans, when they try to paint an entire fan base a certain way because of the actions of, whether it's a few, whether it's a decent size. I do have a little bit of sympathy for the other fans, but I also have more sympathy for Jaylen Brown and Bill Russell before him. And that's a real thing that I'd like to say. You'd think that would affect Boston sports teams, but find more championships in the last 20 years. Somehow they're figuring something out there. And when you hear a guy like Jaylen Brown say something like that, you wonder how long is that just him venting? Is that just him communicating, or is there a real chance? Because I'll tell you this, Jason, I think he'd fit in fine with the Kings.
Absolutely.
We would welcome him.
I still think, and maybe it's crazy, I don't watch Boston every game, but, watch him a ton of the playoffs, watch him in person last night. I personally think the Brown versus Tatum debate's a lot closer than a lot of people. I mean, almost everybody's going to take Tatum.
Oh, sure.
Brown's a really good offensive player, and he's a two-way player. He's a good defensive player. I think it's closer than people say, but that's me.
I'm with you 100%. Now, I think Tatum's the better player on the team.
Because of offense?
He's the better player on that team. But this could also, this could be I hate to use the example, but I'll use it. This could be a James Harden, Oklahoma City situation. Maybe Jaylen Brown needs to go elsewhere. And then if you told me that Jaylen Brown was going to go to Team X and the following year he'd have better numbers than Jason Tatum, I would not be shocked.
Right.
I wouldn't be shocked. But Jason Tatum is the guy on that team. And especially when you're talking about wings, like Shaq and Kobe, that's great. That's fine. Look at your combos through the years. Having two guys like that, eventually you got to think Jaylen Brown's going to go, you know what, the team winning is great. Maybe even winning a championship. But at some point, is Jaylen Brown being ceilinged by Jason Tatum?
It could be.
We'll take a break. When we come back, will she be on camera? I don't know, but she texted me 5 minutes ago. Don't know what she said. We'll find out. Katie Christensen, analyst for your Sacramento Kings, joins us next on SactownSports.com.
It's Deuce and Mo.
You want to turn up a little? I mean, it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. This does not match Philadelphia, though.
No.
Those guys, like, they're happy. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're happy. want to be your team up.
Let's go climb some poles and drop fire
And
grenades.
spit on anyone that doesn't make a free throw.
Especially Santa. Yeah. That's okay.
Deuce and Mo, weekdays from 11 to 2 on Sactown Sports.
Hi there. Jason Ross here to tell you about ACR Solar and ACR Home Services. They provide a lot of different things. Go to acrsolar.com to see all the different things they can help you out with. For us, in our family, in our situation, we needed a brand new roof, and it's a task that we'd never done before. Obviously, it's something that I'd seen in our neighborhood, and other people have to go through that process, and it's a process, so you want to get it done right, and we got it done right with the great folks at ACR Solar. Of course, they do solar. It's in their name, but the home services, a lot of other entities they can help you out with, and we met with a couple other roofing companies, got the 3 estimates that you should do on any project on your house. But when we talked to the folks at ACR Solar, we knew this was the right company for us. And the end result, my wife just said it yesterday. She goes, I'm so glad we did the roof this last summer, which is true because the amount of rain that has gone on, that continues to go on, and just all the elements, all the wind we had yesterday, we were stress-free at our home, even though you're worried about trees and fences and all that other stuff. Our roof, we're in great shape, great position, curb appeal, home value, all the stuff you look for when you take on a project like that. So I strongly, strongly encourage you to check out ACR Solar. They were fantastic for us. They can be great for you. Go to acrsolar.com.
For your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, guys. It's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. You'll love your results. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 nights stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates, going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2.
He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Still to come on today's show, Kings in-studio analyst and former player Kenny Thomas joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I got looks like I got Charlie horse in my right tricep.
Are you day to day?
I guess. I hurt myself sleeping. By the way, I got got. I'm always really good at not getting got, but I got got. I went back and looked after somebody texted it. Thanks to whoever texted it from and I hate to say this, the 209. The 209 has helped me say the correct thing. The whole thing about Kendrick Perkins getting fired, that was a fake account. That was multiple fake accounts, but I'm usually really good at deciphering. So Kendrick Perkins, to the best of our knowledge, still employed with ESPN. So that's a correction.
Good for him.
We sincerely apologize for not watching gets fired today. Joining us right now, she'll never get fired. She's got tenure as far as I'm concerned, and I'm the one that makes the decisions. The analyst. Color analyst for your Sacramento Kings. Somebody had just yelled at me on text, by the way. I'm not gonna lie about that, but that's fine. We'll try to just move forward things. Katie Christensen. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, fellas.
Hi, how are you?
I'm tired. How are you guys?
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you tired, huh? Tough game last night. You 35 minutes. Celtics are physical. They're tough.
Yes, it was a physical game, and it's my kind of game. Had I been playing, I would have thrived for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think the question is this, based on some of the stuff I'm seeing online, Katie, they lost to the Jazz when the Jazz weren't playing arguably three of their best players. Now they get embarrassed at home by Boston. Is Mike Brown on the hot seat, Katie?
God.
I mean,
yeah, he's on the hot seat. That's right. Yeah, the same way that Kendrick Perkins lost his job.
Well, there's like boom, like you're not bothered, right? Like most.
No. You know, one thing that did bother me, and this is just I don't know why this happened last night, but I was a little perturbed personally that Joe Mazzulla left his starters in for so long.
Yeah,
like I felt like that was kind of a statement that he was trying to make. And I know that it wasn't necessarily directed at the Kings. I think it was directed a little bit more at kind of what's going on in Boston, the environment there. He's a little bit on the hot seat in the sense that, you know, the intern tag was removed and he's the head coach, and then they've struggled from the All-Star break. And, you know, Boston media is a little bit different than maybe what Sacramento media is like. So it's been a little bit volatile for him out there. And I don't know if that's what was going on, but I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. There was no reason to do that. And I said it on air. I think like maybe he could make the argument that he was trying to get his core group that have only played 81 minutes together going into last night's game some time on the floor. But that's not the case either, because Robert Williams was taken out during that time. So I don't know. I was a little perturbed about that. But in the end, when you talk about it from the Kings perspective, I think the important thing is you look at the Milwaukee game and you look at the Boston game. They were right in it with Milwaukee. Kevin Huerter being out is impactful for sure. It makes a difference. But also the defense that Celtics team played, they made it really, really difficult for the Kings to be able to get the type of offensive production that they normally do, particularly in the paint. So one thing I can say about Mike Brown and this team this year is when they have games like that, when they struggle with one thing or another, they do a really good job of going back to the drawing board and figuring out how to work through it. And we generally don't see it again right after it happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think that was a good I think that was a good test for them because we're talking playoffs, guys, and this is the type of teams you're going to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Katie. I remember we were talking with you, I don't know, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, whenever Toronto came through. It was really the first team that I would say totally dismantled the Kings the way their offense just couldn't do anything. And we asked, is this a blueprint? And you didn't think it would be because just what you said, the Kings would adjust, find their way, and they have. Boston was a team that switched everything, and early on, I thought Sabonis had so many different mismatches that he could take advantage of, but never really could. So what did you see there, that Boston's ability to kind of take the Kings out of what we normally see from them offensively?
Yeah, they do a really good job of really sending bodies. So even though there were mismatches, they take away all of the driving lanes. And as soon as he did put the ball on the floor, there was 3 guys around him. And when he tried to kick out, they knew where he was kicking out to, and they anticipated those passes, and they came up with a lot of turnovers. And you talk about like creating a little bit of your own destiny in a game. The Kings were not able to turn that team over at a regular rate. I mean, they had 2 turnovers at halftime, and they picked up their 3rd turnover in the 4th quarter. And that's been a problem for this Boston team as of late, their 4th quarter turnovers, and they were able to turn them over a little bit in the 4th quarter, more than they did the previous 3. But at that point, it's too late. So if you can't get in the paint, if you can't create turnovers and get out in transition, especially against a team that is so good in the half court defensively. So, in essence, you're really just stuck with, setting up your half court offense and trying to get them to make a mistake. And they just don't make many mistakes on that end.
Katie Christensen joining us. Katie, so we know that Boston's a fantastic defensive team. They're also, I think it was number 4 in offensive rating. I mean, they're top 4 in both. So when it comes to the Kings defense as a whole, I don't know if it was more Boston's offense, less the Kings defense, but give the Kings defense a letter grade on how they performed last night.
Well, I would say maybe a C plus if I'm being generous. They just were not able to slow them down. And I thought a big thing, and I love how you did that. I know why you did the letter grade, by the way. Yeah. But anyway, I give them on a scale of 1 to 10.
I didn't know if you catch it or not.
I catch it all, baby. But, I think that the reality of the situation is that obviously when you look at the offensive personnel for Boston, they keep coming at you. When they bring in their 3 guys off the bench and they have a tight 8-man rotation, it doesn't really let up at all, and so they just keep coming at you, and they do such a good job of creating threes for themselves and mismatches and those types of things. They're just that good on both ends. They're the only team in the league that is in the top 5 in both offensive and defensive rating. And so it's no mistake that they've had the success that they've had. So yeah, I think the Kings tried, but I would say maybe a C plus if I'm being generous.
We believe that Kevin Huerter will be back for this weekend, and I'm assuming, Kate, he goes right back into the starting lineup. But Kessler Edwards has done enough to be in the rotation now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting. I asked Mike Brown in pregame media availability about what he has liked from Kessler, and the answer that he gave me about him being in the starting lineup is that they wanted to take a look at him, and they wanted to see what he was capable of in terms of his defensive versatility. And they wanted him to be on Bradley Beal. They wanted him to be on Bridges. They wanted him to even play against Markkanen, and Markkanen didn't end up playing. But you're talking about going from a 2 guard to like a 7-foot, 3-point shooter. And so I more look at him, keeping him in that starting lineup, which traditionally it's been Terrence Davis that has been in the starting lineup when Kevin Huerter has missed games in the past. I think this is just another really brilliant job by Mike Brown of you've got someone that you think has certain potential. It's late in the season. There's not a lot of time to figure it out. So you put him in that position, in that starting lineup, because you just wanted to get an extended look at him. And to me, that's not playing for the now, that's playing for the future. And that's what this coaching staff is really looking at right now. they're already thinking about playoffs. They are already thinking about what they can do, who's going to be valuable, what situations will people be valuable in. And so I found that really, really intriguing. And, he was on Jason Tatum last night, and the first play of the game, he fouls him on the low block. The first play of the second half, they take him down to the low block. He does a better job defending that time. But, to me, it's strategic coaching, because they're looking ahead. They're not just looking at, hey, this 48 minutes that we're about to embark on. He's got a long-term plan in place, and I applaud that.
If we agree that Kessler Edwards, and I don't know, do we agree, guys, that Kessler Edwards is a top 2-3 individual defender?
I think so.
Okay. And he's shooting, let me see here, 53% from the field and 44% from behind the arc. Number one, isn't that the definition of a 3-and-D guy? Number two, does that make an argument? Is there an argument, even though it won't happen, Katie, to keep starting him?
No. Okay. And listen, I'm a huge fan of Kessler. I'm a big fan of him defensively. And he's struggled a little bit more the last couple games, obviously, because he's in that starting lineup and he is being tasked with guarding the best player on these teams. And, when you look at him coming off the bench as a role player, I will continually point out just how good he is defensively. So I can say that his shooting numbers have gotten better over the last couple games. I mean, they were, it was like 25% from beyond the arc, but I mean, it was such a incredibly small sample size that it's not fair to say that that's the type of offensive player he is. I think he has the potential long-term to be a really solid 3-and-D guy and develop into someone that maybe could play major minutes. But I think his best use right now is what we were seeing prior to the Kevin Huerter injury, is spot defense, right? Like being brought in to take on a certain matchup and wreak a little havoc off the bench. But I will say I really, really do love his game, and I want to see if he's able to maintain those type of offensive numbers as his role kind of is expanded, whether if it's this year or next year.
You're the best. Katie Christensen, TV analyst for your Sacramento Kings. Thanks so much for getting up and talking to us, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, fellas.
All right,
Thank
care.
You.
That's Katie. The other night, Mark Jones asked her to, forget who it was, but give him a letter grade, and then she went on with her explanation, and then ended up giving the letter grade of about 7. That was the reference there.
Gotcha.
That's she actually.
I
does
did not
that.
know
In
what the
real
reference
life,
was.
you cannot get her to do that. We'll take a break. When we come back, that level the Boston Celtics are at, that level the Sixers and the Bucks are at that we've seen this year. Can the Kings get to that level as well? Also, some early numbers, speaking of, on Kessler Edwards' defense. We'll do that next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Chrysler's Jeep celebration event?
We have the biggest savings since 2020 with up to $15,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE.
Those 4xe plug-ins are pretty awesome. Any special going on for Dodge?
Right now, get up to $5,500 off MSRP on new 2022 Dodge Charger GTs. But with this kind of savings, they won't last long.
Nobody will treat you better than Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Come see for yourself with a test drive today, or search, select, and save at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$15,000 total net savings on select new 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs after $10,500 total rebates and $4,500 dealer discounts. Must lease to qualify. Rebates include $3,000 California car lease bonus cash. Must be California residents and lease to qualify. Plus $7,500 federal income tax credit rebate. Valid only on lease option. $7,500 income tax credit provided by Internal Revenue Code Section 30D. May apply to purchase option. Incentive offered by third party and may be subject to change without notice. Consult a tax professional for details and eligibility. 5 of this net savings. Sample VIN 716944. Must take delivery by 3/31/23. Only while supplies last. $5,500 total net savings on select 2022 Dodge Charger GTs after $2,500 factory rebates and $3,000 dealer discounts. 5 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
I show Jason some videos sometimes that I think are funny. I just probably showed him the dumbest one in history.
You said that, though, going into it.
It's so stupid. And I don't know why it makes me laugh every time. If anybody's ever gone on YouTube and watched Jeff Hurdy, Jeff, Jeff Hurdy, it's about a minute and a half, and it's just really stupid. It's basically everything is Jeff. They clipped it up.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if the joke would be something else. No, they lean in on that. They just go all the
You
way.
only saw the first half.
No,
Coming up in the next break, the exciting conclusion
of Jeopardy.
Thanks to Katie Christensen. Here's where numbers get skewy. And I know that Monty and Co., with all their Ivy League-ness, they're going to have better numbers than this. But the two of them that you look at, win shares is a problem because you have to be around for a minute generally. Win shares for 48, that's a little better. And then defensive box plus minus. That's when you look at Kessler Edwards, according to defensive box plus minus, the only people on the team that have defended worse than him all year are Chima and Deontay Burton.
Wow.
Yeah, defensive win shares. He is above Nimi Kayte and Alex Len. I'd be really curious. And I bring this up I'm not trying to make a case that Kessler Edwards sucks at defense. Listen, here's the thing on that. Number one, too small of a sample size. Number two, they're putting him up against like the best player on the other team. Almost
Exactly.
He's trying to take some of that pressure off of Harrison Barnes, who usually gets that assignment. I would just love to know what Monty and Co. are using to be able to rate that. Other than, the eye test helps. In that case, you kind of have to look at how he's defending these guys. But there's some guys like Jason Tatum last night. There was a point, I want to say it was in the third quarter. Things were starting to get, I wouldn't say chippy, but getting amped up. And man, De'Aaron Fox was on him.
Tatum?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the one where you got called for a foul for?
No,
Okay.
but to your point, lame.
Yeah.
I actually thought De'Aaron could have been called more for a foul on this possession than that one, and he didn't. I mean, he was just on him. It was physical. It was back and forth, and you could tell. Jason Tatum and De'Aaron Fox go back a bit. You could tell this is a one-on-one type of thing, and there was a little exchange over about 3 possessions. So Tatum does this fall away 20-footer, nothing but net. And I'm just like, if I'm De'Aaron Fox, there's nothing you can do here.
Yeah.
There's nothing. He literally was like, it did everything but block the shot. And then De'Aaron came down and tried the same thing and missed. And, they went back and forth for a little bit. But there's just sometimes you can play great defense.
Yeah.
The guy's going to score.
I know you watched the game. I wanted to see, I don't know how this was described by Mark and Katie yesterday, but I only saw it once live when it happened, and I thought it was the worst call of the night. It actually was in favor of the Kings. The Celtics are on that run. Like it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. Celtics, I think the Kings maybe turned it over. They come down the other end. Celtics make like 4 great passes, and it gets to Robert Williams, and he's going up to dunk. And Sabonis is really frustrated. And literally from my angle, he went in like, I'm purposely fouling you. Like he put 2 hands in his midsection while he's dunking. I'm like, oh, Sabonis, like, basically, it's like the white flag. Like, we're done. We're in trouble. We can't stop this run. And they just counted the basket. No foul. I went, wow. Like, it looked like he honestly was like an intentional foul.
It's so lame because there's no rhyme or reason sometimes.
Right.
This is a foul now, but it's not a foul before.
Yeah.
What is the rule players always say in baseball when it comes to umpires? Like, maybe they'd rather have a guy that consistently calls a strike that's 5 inches outside.
Then they know
that a guy that's all over be consistent.
I'm going to have to now protect that. I think he's wrong, but at least I know where he's coming from.
And now in the 3rd, 5th, 7th inning, I'm going to know what I need to do. But when it's what drives them batty is when the umpires are inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with refs. Like, dude, if it's a foul in the 1st, it's a foul in the 4th.
Yeah, and I think Coach Brown was clearly frustrated last night, and I don't blame him, but I also think then he got an emotional challenge. Like, he went like, I'm challenging this.
Yes.
And I thought, what's the net win of this? I didn't think he'd win it, but even if you paint the picture like you're going to win this challenge, you were saving a foul from Fox.
Right.
It was an and one. Sure, you take, but I thought the moving screens, there was 2 moving screens they called in the first half that negated 3-pointers.
Yep.
That's maybe, if you're thinking of it, you're like, you're taking 3 points away from your team.
Right.
And then, later in the game, there's going to be something more meaningful. Now the game ended up getting out of hand.
Sure.
But I thought Coach got in the emotional part of it. Like, you know what? You guys are bad. I'm challenging this.
It was a frustration challenge.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Wouldn't have done it, Coach, but, heat of the moment.
And the ones, I don't even know if there's not even a name for this, but it's going bad. I know there were at least 2. There might have been 3 times last night that the Celtics were called for a foul, and it wasn't a shooting foul, but like it was an off-ball foul, and the Kings sunk the shot. Like there was one, I think it was Monk in the corner. They called an off-ball foul. He was already in the air. Shot goes in. So it was one of those things where like even the fouls that were favoring Sacramento
didn't help.
Were going against Sacramento. So you talk about either way. There are people out there, like for example, where's my guy here? I just saw it. Chuck Lee says, Kings can't be as good because the NBA refs won't cheat and help the Kings like the other teams. We lose the game last night because of the NBA refs cheating. Oh, well, that everyone's entitled to your opinion, but that's wrong.
Oh, why they lost.
That's not why they lost.
I will agree that I did not think it was a great game. I didn't think the Kings got a great whistle, but
no, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, but not why they lost.
No, it's not why they lost. Now, there's other games where the refs have certainly aided them losing.
They are a factor.
If the refs, by the way, and I know it's situational, so it doesn't tell the whole story. Just for the record, the Celtics shot 2 more free throws than the Kings last night. Now, that doesn't tell the whole story, but I don't care if the Kings, if you told me right now you could go back and the Kings shoot 25 free throws and the Celtics shoot 10, the Kings are still losing the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Kings are still going to lose the game. They lost because the Celtics are a better team. They lost earlier this year to the Celtics because they're a better team. They lost twice to the Sixers because they're better teams. And they lost to the Bucks twice because they're a better team. So,
yeah, what can they do about it this year? Like now, I mean, the moves have been made.
Is it okay for me to say nothing?
Yeah. I mean, because, experiences like last night, I think point out the obvious, right? Like you go into the game going, can you beat Boston? Yes. What's it going to take? Play better than them, have them maybe have a slightly off night, but maybe play one of your best nights.
Right.
I think for moments of the game, I mean, again, this was going down the lane of the Dallas home game, maybe the Clipper game on the road. There's some games here lately like, man, this is high-level basketball.
Yes.
The Kings are exchanging punches. The Bucks game. To me, I'm going, I think they were in a timeout in the second quarter. I go, well, to me, this game's teaching me the Kings belong with these guys. And then as the game went along, you're like, well, you know what? Over 48 minutes, they are the better team.
Yeah.
And there's not a shame in that, but like, how do you overcome that? Is it a personnel thing or more experience thing or combo of both?
And you're talking about the Kings, Jason, that they didn't get a lot of rest. Yes, they played 5 and 7.
Yeah.
Celtics were playing the final game of a 6-game road trip in which they lost to Houston, they lost to Utah. Those are notoriously, now they had a lot of days off.
They did, but
I also,
7 and 6 since the All-Star break, they weren't thriving. Like they got Boston in a mood, I would say too. So a good team that's focused was going to be difficult for the Kings to beat.
I had heard that somebody told me that Boston had spent a decent amount of days in Napa in between Utah. Okay. So I was hoping maybe there was a little UB40 red wine thing going on, but now a little more professional than that. We'll take a break. When we come back, standings watch. Let's get to the Magic numbers update as well. There's all kinds of news on the horizon there, including 3 teams that cannot catch the Kings. They've already been eliminated. We'll talk about that next.
It's Cattles and Rami.
I think Josh McDaniels looks at a football organization like a lion looks at a pride. Like there can only be one alpha, and he gets in the, he saunters over into the pride, and he spots the threats and who needs to be gotten rid of, and who needs to be taken out. And I think that's why you see like a Darren Waller, a Derek Carr, they're out.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
3 Doors Down, live. Away from the Sun Anniversary Tour, July 13th, Hard Rock Live. Special guest, Candlebox, their farewell year of touring. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. 3 Doors Down with Candlebox. Away from the Sun Anniversary Tour.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's Truck Month at Maida Chevy with exclusive all-in-stock pricing on a huge selection of new 2022 and 23 half-ton Silverados in stock, ready to go. See all the savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
331.23. Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pie customer.
As a small business, we're always looking for ways that we can offer the quality product and get some cost savings.
Meet Michelle from J.J. Pfister Distilling Company, a small business in California. When looking for workers' comp coverage tailored to the company's needs, she discovered Pie Insurance.
We heard about Pie Insurance being geared for a small business, gave Pie a call, and ended up switching.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypie.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate, so your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
We saved about 30% off of our workers' comp insurance when we switched to Pie.
It's as easy as pie to get the savings you deserve. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pie or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypie.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and member FDIC.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. Here are Sactown Sports Headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 night stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Still to come on today's show, Kings in-studio analyst and former player Kenny Thomas joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
All right, Jay Mars, you're the music guy. Kendrick Lamar, Billie Eilish, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lana Del Rey, the 1975, Carly Rae Jepsen, Pusha T, 30 Seconds to Mars, and a lot more. Afrojack. This is Lollapalooza 2023. Okay. I did not know they were still doing Lollapalooza.
Where is it?
It's in Chicago. Yeah. There's like
just outside of Lala.
Some of these, like the one that comes here, the Hard Rock. I forget the name of it.
Bottle Rock. Yeah, I knew something wrong.
Yeah. That's good. There's one in Kentucky coming up. That's like I super want to go to it, but no easy way to get to Kentucky from here.
There's planes.
Drive.
You
I
could.
guess.
You can RV.
RV, fire up the old RV.
Yeah. Where is that RV? Oh, never mind. Anyway,
somebody in like Davis is driving around that RV.
Wow.
That's
That's
what
cool.
last I'd heard. Like and then like, what was it? Like the best part about it is like, I think 3 months later, the King, like they offered to sell us the RV, right? So by sell us, I mean, sell the Kings.
Yeah.
And when we got the RV, it had like 7 miles. Like literally when we left here 10 years ago, it had 7 miles on it. I remember that when I picked it up. So it was a brand new RV. And we didn't like, other than the guy in New York who crashed it into a UPS truck, we didn't do any damage to it. Like we haven't even had a little vacuum on there. They offered to sell it to us for a great price. And again, by us, I mean the Kings. And they turned it down. But then like 3 months later, they bought another RV. For like, I think 10 grand more than what the other people. Yeah. And so it got all stripped down, all the signatures, everything. Like that's it. That was not I do not think that was a smart move on the Kings part, but you know, hey, who wants to be in a stinky old RV?
Who wants to be in a stinky old
exactly. I do want to be in the 3 seed and perhaps the 2 seed if I am the Sacramento Kings. And the magic number, Jason, is still 4.
These magic numbers. When your team is close to mine, won't last forever. Unless this Kings season doesn't end on time.
Hey, when and if the Kings clinch?
By the way, I told Jason I'm pretty close to cracking the code on who sings that. If I find it out and I'm correct, I will get a remix.
When you find out, you punch him right in the face.
We don't endorse violence on this show.
I mean that, whatever, figuratively. Once the Kings, once the Kings clinch the thing, and
that goes away.
That goes away.
Yeah,
let's go.
Still magic number 4. Didn't help it last night.
No, didn't
not
help it.
for themselves, but there's so many teams that they're in contention with as far as who can catch them, I guess technically. But they did help it in one category. The Clippers lost a peg.
Yes,
because they lost a game.
And if the Lakers lose tonight,
I'm not sure with the injury that happened last night. Lost a peg is really a good.
Well,
sorry about that.
That's rough acting. New Orleans 3.
Mm-hmm.
So this is any combination of a Kings win and a New Orleans loss. That takes one down. So New Orleans 3, the Lakers 2.
The 2 with an asterisk because the Kings have the tiebreaker. So that's why they only have to. The most wins the Lakers can get is 45. So generally you would need Kings at 43. 46 would get it. But if it's 45, the Kings have the tiebreaker.
They've got it. Minnesota 3.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news there. Karl Anthony Towns, barring a setback, is going to play tonight. They're also on the verge of getting Anthony Edwards back, I believe, as well. So you finally get to see if the Gobert Karl Anthony Towns combo you were excited about.
Oh, super excited about. And if the T-Wolves lose before Monday, or the Kings win a game before Monday, but let's just say the T-Wolves lose a game before Monday and the Kings beat them on Monday, they gone.
So it is. So even if the Kings were to lose to Phoenix on Friday,
correct,
there's still a decent chance they could clinch over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't want to be picky. I hate it but I'm going to be. I hate it when like a baseball team clinches their division on like an off day or another team. Like, can we get the Kings to clinch? I want their clinch to be at a home game.
It might be. I mean, these 2 losses, I think, help that because, again, and we'll go over who's playing tonight in the NBA, but literally, I'll give you one example. The Warriors play the Mavericks.
Yes.
Obviously, somebody's winning. Obviously, somebody's losing. So the Kings are going to someone's going to lose a magic number against the Kings tonight, whether it's the Warriors or the Mavs.
Right.
I think there's some other Western Conference games. Tomorrow, the Thunder play the Clippers again. One of those 2 will lose another magic number on the Kings. So it's just naturally going to happen. I told you the other day, I honestly don't think they have to win another game. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I would think we'd be losing 12 in a row going to the postseason would be awful.
It's not the momentum you want.
No, but they're in terrific shape. But you lose 12 in a row. Now you're going like, wait, what seed are you? Like you'd be in, but you may be really scuffling.
5 or 6.
Yeah, or lower.
But again, we're these magic
this is
numbers,
to be 6.
This is to be 6 or better.
Correct.
So we've got play-in coming up here, I would imagine, fairly soon.
Yeah, the problem is basically
they could go back and
6
forth.
through 12 is all play-in type scenario. Like there's not the real separation.
And then there's finally, after they clinch, there's one more magic number that would be to host.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, though, the Kings' next 3 games, they play 3 games in 4 days after getting Wednesday, today, and Thursday off. Friday, home against Phoenix. Saturday, so yeah, back to back, they see Utah again. And then Monday, they play Minnesota. Now, the good news is all 3 of those games are at home. The bad news is the Kings have a better road record than a home record. And the bad news also is that all 3 of those teams have beaten the Kings.
They have?
All 3 of those teams have beaten the Kings this year, including, I believe, didn't Phoenix beat them at Golden One earlier this year?
They did.
I know Minnesota did. Utah just beat them. So, and then you go to Portland. So, and we will be in Portland, just to remind you. We'll get there after Wednesday's show. We'll be there Wednesday night. Jason, you'll be doing the pre-half and posts on location. We'll be doing the shows from there Thursday and Friday, and we will have sound and all kinds of fun and excitement for you covering them.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be great, but I think it would be special, to be honest, if it was a home game.
Yes.
I think that would be ideally for the fans, for the team, based on the way they've kind of handled things, seemingly like when they got to 42, it's kind of like, they didn't seem to make it a big deal.
No.
We made a big deal out of 40. They didn't make a big deal out of 40. They didn't seem to make a big deal out of 42. I think they'll do their regular thing. If they win, player of the game, chain. Maybe they have a little bit more in the locker room, which they should.
You're talking about clinching for the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, they're on court. They're just overall demeanor. Fans will go absolutely nuts, as they should. We'll see what the players do. They should celebrate it. I'm not saying they won't, but I feel like their mentality has kind of been like, they've been talking about the playoffs now. Like they're not hiding from that. Like Mike Brown for a while is like, we've got to be better come playoff time. I think the players are talking about the playoffs. I think they now expect it, which is great.
And I'm not giving you the look like you could be right.
But there should be champagne or whatever. There should be a locker room celebration.
I want to see Keegan Murray have champagne dumped on him. I want to see goggles and snorkels. I want to see plastic. That's the first time Golden One Center will ever see a playoff clincher.
Yeah.
I want Frankie Cardicelli dripping with champagne that got sprayed on him.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see all of that. I want him to.
You're acting like the championship celebration is what you want to see.
I think when you literally hold the North American sports record for consecutive years missing the playoffs, I understand they got bigger fish to fry. I understand they've got, I'm all for that, but you have to at least at some point stop and allow yourself to smell the playoff roses.
Well, then they better have it happen while they play a game, because if it's on an off day and someone lost to clinch a spot, that's anticlimactic for them.
Like, nobody rush the court, okay? Because you can't do that in the NBA.
Right.
Like, you can do that in college, you can't do that in the NBA. Yeah. But my God, like, if there was ever an NBA team that would do that, it's situation. That's the situation. Don't do it. Don't do it. You won't be able to come back. But I'm just saying, like, the fans are going to be in a state of bliss, and good for them. And I want to see whoever NBC Sports California would assign to the locker room to be doing live locker room interviews while getting sprayed with. I want that. I think the fans want that experience. And then, okay, good, you did it. You're done now.
You've
secure
got
home.
whatever, 5 games left.
Right.
What seed? Who are you playing? That kind of thing.
But basically, for them to not clinch at home in those next 3 games, also counting the games, as you've said, the other teams are playing.
Yeah.
For them to not clinch a 6 or better in the next 3 games, something would have to, I don't want to say go terribly wrong, but it would have to be a rough road.
Yeah. And it would be abnormal for what they've done. Again, I said it earlier when we did the 5-game chunks that Mike Brown looks at. If for people that are doom and gloom on this team that, oh man, they've lost the last 2 games. This is currently the last 15 games since the All-Star break, their best 15-game stretch of the year. It ties the other one at 11-4. They're playing good basketball.
Well, we lost to the Jazz.
Yeah. Lost to who else in that run? The Bucks.
The Bucks and the Celtics.
And then who's the 4th? Maybe the T-Wolves?
Yeah, I think so.
Won 11 games, though.
That's
it.
That's who they've lost to after the All-Star break. That's pretty redonkulous. I'm looking right now. I'm trying to figure out, Jason, if the Kings went 0-3, which would be 0-5, is there still a mathematical possibility they could clinch? There is, right?
I mean, I don't know how to do all the
mathies.
Yeah.
Like, if the Warriors lost their next 3, that would put them at 37 and 39.
Right.
Which would be what, 76? So that would give them 6 games left, of which then if they won out, they'd be 43.
Which the Kings are already there.
The Kings are already there. So yeah, I mean, they pretty much
That's where that loss column becomes valuable. You look at that. I mean, what's the most amount of wins these teams can get?
Yeah.
And teams are just running out of games.
We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot? I don't know. Who's not? Also, no, I don't know, Jason.
Okay.
And we'll recap your guys' 3 in the key last night.
We had a special guest participate too.
You did? I don't know who this is.
Yeah. They're here right now.
They are? Oh. We'll get to that next. On Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. Thank you.
I'm Eric Armstead, and you're listening to Sactown Sports.
Armstead with relentless pursuit, and Eric Armstead came in and sacked him.
You wanted more Niners?
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's new home for the 49ers.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course is Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Players love Bartley Kavanaugh's fun design and great mixture of holes. Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. Bartley Kavanaugh offers a great pro shop, help planning your tournament or wedding, and a relaxing outdoor veranda for a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
You can't host movie night on your phone's hotspot. It's time for real home internet on the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. New customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet for just $25 a month for 2 years during our Xfinity 10G network launch celebration, now through April 23rd. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot? Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not? It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Hey!
Hey!
I got a question.
Hey.
Who's hot?
Oh.
Well, no. You have an answer, I would hope, because I don't know.
Well, I have a question and an answer.
Oh.
That's why they call me Q&A.
Okay.
Domantas Sabonis.
They call you Q&A.
They do.
Okay. Domantas Sabonis is hot, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah,
Centers with 10 plus triple doubles in a season. You ready for this long list? Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Domantas Sabonis.
It's pretty good.
That's it.
It's pretty darned good.
This is the first season in NBA history where multiple centers recorded 10 plus triple doubles. But wait. There's more. Centers to record 500 plus assists in a season. Are you ready for this extremely long list?
Yes.
So ready, dude.
Wilt Chamberlain, Nikola Jokic, Domantas Sabonis.
What?
That's it.
Well, I'm old enough to remember.
Where'd you go?
I'm sorry. I'm old enough to remember. I'm old enough to remember that Sam Amick, I think, laughed when we suggested that Domantas Sabonis should be getting some MVP votes. Old enough to remember that. Got receipts, bro.
How many?
Like one.
Okay.
Top Season ends right now. Where does he finish in the MVP voting? Top 5? Top 6?
Top 10.
Giannis, Embiid, obviously Jokic,
Tatum.
Jason Tatum. Who's after that? Seriously, I think he's got an outside shot at top 5. Now, I'm not saying he'll get it.
It's outside shot.
But Luka's got injured. I don't know, man. I think he's got an outside shot at top 5. Who's not, though?
We're going to go with who's lukewarm.
Okay.
The Atlanta Hawks, who continue to circle around 500.
Yeah.
With their win over the Pistons last night, the Hawks are now 36-36. Their 26th straight game within one game of 500.
Wow.
That passes the 14-15 Pelicans for the longest streak staying within one game of 500 in a season in NBA history.
That's kind of like, we never talked about it. It's like that Jazz game. Dude, didn't it seem like for an hour the Kings were within 2 or 3 or tied with the Jazz and like absolutely could not take the lead
for an hour.
For like an hour. Yeah. Every single time it's like, dude, just take the lead. And then they did, and then they lost. So that's who's not, huh?
No, it's who's lukewarm.
Okay, well then do you have a who's not?
No.
No?
We're on a positive note today.
Is lukewarm the Kings coach?
Yes.
Who's hot and who's lukewarm? That's
who's good. Hot and who's watching tape?
Wow. Shot unnecessary.
That's our guy.
Perhaps. Yeah. We always got along well with Luke Wall. We have nothing bad.
Having fun in Cleveland now.
Yeah, he's coaching a winning team now.
Okay. Who? Yeah, no, technically you're right. 3 in the key. I did not participate yesterday, so I will be a fan.
No, you can participate today.
Oh,
let's see how you do.
All right.
Dave, we asked the question in 3 in the key because we had just came off that Jazz game where the Kings gave up a 40-19 first quarter. So we asked the question, first quarter score. The game has already happened, Dave. Would you like to enter your first quarter score?
First quarter score, I'm going to say, 36-34 Kings.
Okay. Dave is in with 36-34 Kings.
Yeah.
I said 33-30 Boston. Jay said 36-31 Boston. Christopher Ladd played yesterday. He said 39-29 Boston. The correct answer was 32-30 Kings.
Oh, I think I won that one.
You did somehow, some way.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm good.
All right. The next question we asked was made threes for Keegan Murray.
Made threes for Keegan Murray.
You've seen the game. It happened. You should know.
I say 3.
Okay, you said 3. I said 3. Jay said 4. Chris also said 3. Keegan Murray was 3 for 10.
Boom. Wow.
Bam.
Everybody got 3.
Except for Jay.
Oh, he got fouled on that one.
He did.
Yeah,
they had like 3 taken away.
Yeah, he did.
That he did make.
Yeah, he did.
And then the last one, call your shot. What would your...
it would have been something. Oh, you know what it would have been? Probably would have been something like Al Horford will have 4 or more 3-pointers. Honestly, that's probably what it would have been. And I do not think he did. I think he had 2.
To the internet?
To the internet.
To the box score.
Let's find
to the wall.
To the window.
Al Horford. He made 3.
I said 4 or more.
Yeah.
But he made 3.
That's pretty close.
Hey, you know
off.
what? Pretty close. Almost had the sweep there.
I said Domantas Sabonis would foul out. He had 2 fouls.
He had 2 fouls.
Jay Mars, very well done here, said Domantas Sabonis would have a 20-point triple-double. Now, he didn't get the 20 points, but 16, 13, and 12.
I mean, so how? I don't feel like that's well done.
Okay.
Why?
Terrible job.
Well, because Domantas Sabonis gets triple-double like every game.
No, he doesn't.
And you said he'd have a 20-point triple-double.
He has more games without a triple-double than
true.
games with
That
a
was his
triple-double.
11th triple-double.
And he's played how many games this year? Like 60
All
plus?
of them.
Yeah.
16, 13, 12 with a steal. Oh, 6 turnovers, though. Is it time to trade him?
For Halliburton.
Because also apparently he got worked against the Jazz. There's a non-insignificant amount of people that said he got worked against the Jazz. It's like he was one, rebound away from it.
I'll take the starting center getting worked the way he has all season.
I'm not saying he had his best game.
No, he did not.
By the way, Walker Kessler makes a lot of people look like they got worked.
Yeah.
So,
He's good.
Our last of our call your shots was Christopher Ladd, who said De'Aaron Fox would have 35 points or more. He had 18. So there you go.
Not a lot of field goal. What do you have, 11 field goal attempts last night?
Yeah, there was a point in the first half, too, where Davion was cooking. Davion had a great game. And it was about 3 minutes left of the first half, and De'Aaron had played 9 minutes. I went, oh, this could be like a secret weapon. De'Aaron's going to be fresh. close game going into halftime, and it didn't quite play out that way.
Yeah, he had 29 minutes, and he was 6 of 11. And I believe Mike Brown sat him at like the 7-minute mark or something in the first. It was earlier than usual, and that I think makes it it's very worth pondering, or at least raising an eyebrow. Is he nursing something? Why?
I just thought Davion was going.
I thought Davion was going. The Celtics did a great job, of taking away the paint from the Kings last night. I think they finished with like 30 points in the paint. Yeah. Like De'Aaron just could not get to the bucket.
I would submit again. They're playing the Celtics. They're staying with them completely in the first. They had that lead 32-30 at the end of the first. De'Aaron Fox, your best or second best player, they pull him out at the whatever it was, 6:50, 7-minute mark. And you're on the fourth game in 5 nights, fifth game in 7 nights, whatever it is. Plus, we've seen De'Aaron lately. Like there was that one game where he was kind of grabbing his thigh, the back of his thigh, like the hamstring area. It just that didn't make a lot of sense to me. I understand Davion Mitchell was cooking a little bit. He was 5 of 8 with 13 points, but the fact that Mitchell got in that game that quickly, and then by the way, Davion Mitchell played 10 minutes less than De'Aaron Fox, 29 minutes total for De'Aaron versus 37 for Sabonis. That just doesn't make there's something Sam Hinkie going.
I'll ask this: if Davion's not cooking when he comes in the first half, does he get the same leash? I don't think so.
Probably not. But it's still De'Aaron Fox, and you're playing him 29 minutes against the Celtics.
Well, they also pulled their starters in the fourth, which is a big.
I get it, but
him.
Keegan Murray played 39. Domantas Sabonis played 37. De'Aaron Fox played 29.
Again, his backup was cooking for an extended amount of time.
I think it's honest. You don't think that's something to raise an eyebrow?
Are you back to Mike Brown on the hot seat?
I think there could be something to it for sure. I'm just saying, I don't think his minutes would have gone up significantly had Davion not been cooking off the bench. Like, I think you see him get back in closer to like the 9-10 minute mark of the second quarter, which would have upped him to 35 minutes.
Yeah, you also have 21 out of Davis, 17 out of Monk, and I understand both of those are your backup twos as well. And Kessler had 20. I don't know. And again, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it wasn't a good match.
They didn't go till a traditional backup 5 until Metu and Rashawn got in the game in the fourth. I mean, Lyles played a little bit of 5, but I mean, he had a short leash last night too.
And imagine if Herter was available.
Yeah,
a little more crowded there too.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, we'll take a break. When we return, hey,
Ken Thomas?
It's Kenny Thomas time. It's Kenny Thomas time. On an Analyst Wednesday, it's Kenny Thomas time. Right? Yeah. Coming up next on Sactown Sports.
It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins.
Aaron Rodgers this guy is something else, man. I definitely was fully prepared for today to be a nothing day. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. I'm glad that we can all move on with our lives now. The Jets have a quarterback. He's 38, 39 years old. Congrats.
Chris and Company with Chris Watkins. Weekdays from 10 to 11.
On Sactown Sports.
For your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, guys. It's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916 603-2000.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at American Energy. Right now, get $2,500 off a new HVAC whole system installation. Now is the time to replace that system. $2,500 off a new HVAC whole home system. 0% financing, payment plan options available. There's no reason to keep putting this off. Schedule today, 916-520-9990, and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs, but some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Treat yourself to a new car in the new year. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for your favorite Kia model. Low interest rates, low payments, even zero down deals with approved credit. Over 20 years right here in Sacramento. That's Folsom Lake Kia.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Your home for the biggest matchups in the NFL. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 nights stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates, going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Still to come on today's show, Kings in-studio analyst and former player Kenny Thomas joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Kenny Thomas will be joining us shortly. Nothing short about Kenny. Was the trade malpractice? Kings have lost 2 in a row. That's our subject today. Is Mike Brown on the hot seat? No and no, by the way. No and no, by the way. Final hour of the program. Still to come. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble.
Yes.
Crumble cookies. So there's that.
Yep.
And we got a lot more stuff to get to, including tonight in the NBA, and a very nice piece written by Zach Lowe on these Sacramento Kings.
Yeah. Did a little deep dive. Got some audio reaction from him, even from the guest yesterday, Paul Pierce, on the NBC Sports broadcast. Said some nice things about the Kings as well, and Mike Brown specifically. So we got that coming up in our next segment.
I mean, I don't have any issues with Paul personally, or think there's anything wrong with him. And I guess it's I want to know how that whole thing worked. Like, first off, why was he on the trip? Secondly, how they get him for the pre-half and post? And then thirdly, should they have had him for the pre-half?
Well, I don't know the answers to some of that, but I feel like that maybe Matt Barnes connection, maybe somewhere.
Maybe I thought maybe Kyle, because Kyle was in Boston a while back. I'll tell you this. I mean, fine having Paul Pierce in, but if I'm doing a math equation, okay, Paul Pierce, Kenny Thomas greater than sign Paul Pierce.
Agreed.
Like fine, Paul, you're the truth and all that, but we need our canine on the broadcast.
We need the hard hats.
And I personally think that's why we lost.
Yeah.
Right now, as he does every week. Kenny Thomas, what's up, man? You let him boot you like that? What's the deal with that? It's Paul Pierce. It's not, Jesus.
See, what's up, Jason? This guy already starting to go in already.
I got your back.
It was a compliment.
It's a compliment.
See, I appreciate. See, Dave, you didn't let me finish.
Excuse me.
I had to make you laugh, Dave. You know what I'm saying? But no, man. I did 4 games, that 4-game road stretch, and then me and Matt rotate. So it was Matt's turn, and Matt was able to bring in Paul.
Oh, very
cool.
cool.
Come in on the show. Yeah, that's kind of how that worked. I saw the show last night.
Okay.
Too.
You had a unique, just on the TV side of things the other day, Kenny, where you were in studio. Kyle had car issue? That had to be a little bit of a unique show for you.
Yeah, it actually was, because last year there was a situation to where I had to step in. I was out of town, and I was actually on the opposite side of that. I was on the Zoom, like Kyle was on the Zoom this time, and it really was awkward in the studio, not having somebody to my right. And next thing you know, it was like audio issues and different things, but things were cutting out. It ended up being good with all the things that actually happened. So it was actually a pretty good show.
Could you actually see Kyle?
Yeah, it was weird, because I was actually, just like I'm looking at you guys right now, he was like right there, but I had to remember to look to the right, to where I was actually looking at the actual screen. So that it was a little weird for me, because I haven't done that one yet.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say too. I know this is something when we're in studio doing the radio in the pregame. We watch you guys, but I can't hear you because we're talking at the same time. But they flash back to some prediction you had the other day. I don't know what that was. What is something that did you nearly call perfectly or something? What was that?
I was close. Yeah, I was. I had that 4-game road trip that they were on, and I predicted the first game that they were gonna sweep the road trip.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's where the 3-0 came in, and then I was 1 game away, man. That's why Kyle's giving me crap, because he don't like it. He doesn't like it when I'm right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, he doesn't like things a lot then.
You already see. That's why you my guy, Dave. We should bring in Kyle on one of these Wednesdays.
We should.
You guys have him on.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We could do that. I would say, because when Kyle was home and he had to do that thing, and obviously things happen. Things happen to all of us, right? Like, no doubt, things happen all the time, and you got to do what you got to do. And I thought I thought you both actually did a really good job, and that's understanding a lot of what you were dealing with behind the scenes. A lot of people don't. You guys were dealing with a lot of crap behind the scenes technically. I thought you did a great job. I think my only question is this: Kyle couldn't get a suit on? I mean, what's going on? Right? Yeah, you can't throw a suit on?
Yeah, man. He was at the crib chilling. Like, I don't blame him. Like, that's probably something I would have did. When I did mine, I think I only had a polo on, Dave, to be honest. Because
wait, when you say you only had a polo on, you mean you were wearing pants, right? Okay, all right. Well, oh no! What?
He cut out at the wrong time. There he is.
Kenny, you cut out.
What is this do not disturb thing comes up, man? Man, I guess I'm not.
Timing.
I guess I'm not tech savvy, man. This crap sucks. The do not disturb is on, and how can somebody call me?
I don't know. I was just giving my dad technical advice on the iPhone yesterday. I'll call you. So just to recap, I was making a funny joke when you said I just had a polo on.
Don't call me again, Josh.
And I said, Kenny, please tell me you were wearing more than just a polo, and then you cut out. So
no, I was wearing just a polo, man. I was on the road doing something. I think I was in Arizona,
Yeah.
And then they asked me to fill in. I haven't. I come on.
No, but
I'm supposed to go buy a sports coat.
No, but my point is, you were wearing pants, right? You weren't just wearing a polo, is what I'm
I
saying.
don't know. I might have just been in a polo, bro. It might have been. No, to be honest, I was sitting in a chair. I might have had some briefs on too.
There you go. There you go.
Jason.
So Kenny, one thing we were talking about earlier is, look, the Kings are doing some great things. And is this just a difference of, I don't know how else to say it, but levels? Like Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, the teams they've had a ton of trouble with that have outplayed them just seem to be better. It almost seems like it's that simple, that they're a level higher, though the Kings have reached a level that's pretty significant. How do the Kings in the future get to maybe what that level is of Milwaukee, of Philly, of Brooklyn, not Brooklyn, of Boston? Do they just need more reps, more time, or some other personnel over time?
Well, you got to keep in mind the Kings are young, and people don't realize that this is their first full year playing together, right? And what they've accomplished so far is unbelievable, and it's actually amazing to me because I'm able to see a lot of different things, like how they were and how they are this year. I think the Kings are they're basically right there. In that Milwaukee game, they played a great 3 first quarters, right? But now it comes down to actually closing out games. And just like last night, the Boston game, it was a good game. Boston's a good team, and Boston's been struggling a little bit because they've blown some leads. But I think the Kings were getting great shots last night. They just weren't able to knock them down, man. And especially playing at home, the crowd was kind of in it, but the crowd wasn't fully in it from what I saw on TV.
Now, Kenny, is there also something, and again, there's a lot of new experiences for Kings fans this year, especially the younger ones. Is there also something to, every year over the last 16 years when the Kings have been failures, every year there's a handful of like, oh my God, we beat the defending champion. Wow, we shot this team on the road. Does a lot of that change now because the Kings are the hunted instead of the hunters, and other teams get up for the competition against Sacramento?
Yeah, that does change because keep in mind, when I was here, when I came from Philly and I was playing at Arco, it was still rocking, even though people were kind of pissed off because of the situation with the Chris Webber trade. But I think me, Corliss, and Brian Skinner, the 3 of us came in and we kind of filled in that void to a certain extent and kept it kind of going, right? To where I think that there was a lot of situations to where at that time it was great basketball, and right now the Kings are showing that they're getting back into that same situation as far as like getting the fans back in it and bringing that whole winning environment back to Sacramento, because the last 15, 16 years or something like that, just with the drought, there hasn't been any talk about Sacramento. And then at the same time, those things are kind of expected to happen, especially when you're in a rebuilding stage. And I think there's a lot of different things going on with the organization at the time. And I think they put all the pieces together.
Kenny, when you played, I know every player's a little bit different with this. Some players probably followed every game all the time. Others maybe just didn't even bother. I know you guys do magic numbers on the show. We do it as well. The Kings are so close to clinching that spot. How aware were you of what the standings look like on a day-to-day basis when you played?
I wasn't. I don't think. I think we kind of knew where we were being on when I was on the Kings. I think we kind of knew where we were, and then once it gets closer to that point of getting to the playoffs, whenever that mark was, with whichever coach I had, because keep in mind I had 10 coaches in 11 years and I had 5 here in Sacramento, and I think it's a totally different situation, especially now because of the drought, once again, that the Kings have been in, to where it's like highlighted even more. It's not normal. I think it was normal back in the day for the Kings to always be in the playoffs, right? So I think that had a big piece of it. And I think the whole initiative and the culture has changed now, because it's like next year, it's like, how is it going to be? It's going to be like you can't fall anything shorter of actual playoff team instead of playing for a play-in spot.
Can the Kings win a championship with this roster someday if they all play together and no major injuries? Or we were discussing this earlier in the show, Kenny. It's okay to, break the playoff streak. It's everything's house money after that. You want them to do great, but we both kind of agreed this is not a championship team yet. My question to you is, can this roster win a championship someday, or do you believe they need to make some tweaks?
I feel like that they are a team that can go to the Western Conference this year. And then I think after that, it's like, let's see what happens, right? But you got to remember, the Kings have no experience when it comes to the playoffs.
Right.
And there are teams that are in the Western Conference, like the Golden State Warriors, that are making a push. The Lakers, you don't really know what's going on with them, right? I do not want to see the Warriors. I just don't, because they're a dangerous team from a standpoint of playoff experience. I think if anything that's going to hold the Kings back is going to be that experience in the playoffs. But at the same time, this is where Mike Brown's going to come in. This is where Doug Christie's going to come in, because those guys have actually been there, and Doug Christie's been there as a player. So I feel like they got a lot of pieces, and I'm pretty sure the organization probably feels like there probably are a couple other pieces, because I just saw something on Instagram about
we don't have the audio. I don't have the screen. Did the screen cut out too? Okay.
that had nothing to do with me.
Okay.
It was
All
on
right.
your end.
What you said? Well, once again, it's bad timing because you cut off right after you said I saw something on Instagram.
Monty, I saw something that he was going over to see a kid overseas.
Sasha Vezenkov. Yeah, they have the draft rights to him. And I think that's going to wrap it up. Go ahead and we'll close out the studio there. That's the Kenny Thomas hour, but not really an hour, more like 12 minutes. That's all on our end. We're having technical difficulties. We do love Kenny so very, very much.
Man, this weather's been bad too.
Oh,
man.
there he is.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not me. Okay, so what I saw on Instagram is that Monty was going over to watch a kid that's kind of a shooter, like a 4. I saw that. So they're doing certain things to get ready for next year, which is nice to be able to see, because the way the Kings are going, man, they're flowing and they're hot right now, and they're a hot topic, which I really like.
Just like you, baby. Yeah, flowing and they're hot. Kenny Thomas.
And UCLA, let's go.
Yes. Got him in the bracket. Kenny, we'll talk to you in a week. Thanks as always, brother.
Thanks, man. Sorry about that. It wasn't my fault. That first one was, though. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Kenny. That's Kenny Thomas joining us. We're way late for a break. By the way, that was Sasha Vezenkov, who had the rights to.
A lot of high hopes for him.
EuroLeague, was it EuroLeague MVP, something MVP? Yeah, there are a lot of high hopes for him as well. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, who's saying what about the Kings? Why? We got others, whether it's Paul Pierce, whether it's Zach Lowe. Some kind things about your Sacramento Kings, always fun to listen to. We'll get to that next.
Catch every Niners game right here.
It's a new partnership. It's a new day. We're going to be able to build some things together. But let's not fool anybody. This has always been a Niners town.
Here's Purdy out of the gun, looking for McCaffrey on the goal line. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports, your official home for 49ers football in the 916.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Hands up. No fouls. No fouls. Yes. Great job. Timeout. Hello, Sacramento, and all you listeners, it's Doug Christie here for the Good Feet Store. Did you know that when your feet are not properly supported, your whole body can become misaligned, causing pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back? Good Feet arch supports are designed to support all 4 arches of the foot, placing the feet in their ideal pain-relieving position and aligning the body from the feet up. Good Feet arch supports come in a wide range of over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes, so customers can be precisely fit with the arch supports that meets their personal needs. It's one reason why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet Store. Visit the Good Feet Store now for a free personalized arch support fitting, and then take them for a walk. Experience for yourself the pain-relieving comfort, balance, and support of Good Feet. In Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
the only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Blow the whistle. Welcome back. Dave, Jason, Jay. Coming up next, Chris and Co. Probably just Chris. By the way, for the record, I'm fine with that.
He has some co's this week.
Oh, does he have some co's?
I don't know if he has a co today, but Deuce's is co Thursday and Kyle Draper's is co Friday.
Oh, well, wait, how does that work? So is Deuce doing 3 hours?
I think Deuce is doing a forfer.
Oh, what?
And then Chris is doing a forfer on Friday with Drapes.
Wow. Good for all of they. Make sure you tune in for that. Also check out SactownSports.com for all the fun digital content we provide you. And by we, I mean other people like Emil and Frankie and so many more. And don't forget, next week, tune in here as you always would anyways on the YouTubes, on all our socials, and yes, on SactownSports.com. As you know, we'll be doing the shows Thursday and Friday from Portland, Oregon. The first of our Kings Roadies we will be doing, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. We'll be bringing you all the content we can possibly provide. A lot of that's going to depend on how well the Kings work with us, but they've been nice enough to say they will, so we shall see.
There we go.
I mean,
look forward to it.
We end up getting like the second assistant equipment manager available. We're interviewing that person.
We're going to make it great.
And we're going to make it amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to find out good stories as well.
Do they put shout on the shorts when washing them?
That's exactly right.
Shout it out.
How do you get the stains out? How many different pairs? And you know what, honestly, could 100% knock out a 15-minute interview with the equipment manager, and it would be fun. Because there's just like, what's the weirdest thing somebody's forgotten? I know Pete Youngman said once, the former Kings trainer, because Pete did a lot more than just trainering. He was like their traveling.
Oh, absolutely.
And Pete said he wouldn't say who, and I won't ask him, but he definitely wouldn't say publicly. But he said there was a player in that 2000 era's squad that had to have a fan. They had to bring a fan, not like a person. Yeah, go team, like a fan on the road to all the road games. That person would plug into the, they had to sleep with a fan on. And I was thinking, like, first off, I have to sleep with a fan on, or I prefer it, so I probably would have been that player. But I was not on that team. So then I started thinking, who was it? Who was it that needed a fan?
Brent Price.
Okay, you say Brent Price. It's funny because I said John Barry. Do you have a guess?
Why is that funny?
I don't know. Because aren't both coaches' sons?
I think Brent is Mark's brother.
Well, probably both coaches' sons.
Price is right.
Yeah. Do you have a guess? I mean, we truly don't know.
Mateen Cleaves.
Oh, Mateen Cleaves.
Doug Christie.
Wouldn't that be great if it was? I have a feeling it was not. Doug seems incredibly low maintenance. Just give him his like fruit and berries and whatever he eats healthily, and I think he's fine.
And he likes his quilts. We know Doug is a big quilt guy.
Is he a quilt guy?
Oh, Doug's a quilt guy.
Is he? I mean, who doesn't like quilts?
Just saying, Doug. I think Doug's preference is a quilt.
I would guess Zach Lowe likes quilts.
He likes the Kings,
but he also likes the Sacramento Kings. Here's some things he had to say just the other day.
And I spent some time with the Kings. The Kings were in New York last week. I can tell you this: if teams are aiming for the Kings, the Kings right now, to a man, coaches, players, probably the mascot, whoever pushes the beam, Vivek Ranadive, who I was able to say hello to in the corridor, and I wonder if he knows how much fun I've made of him over the years. Probably does. They're all of them. Their reaction is, bring it. You want us? Bring it. We're number 2 in the West. We're not scared of anybody. We're healthy. We see all of you wobbling in uncertainty. We have faith in the way we play. Yeah, our defense, it's not great. We think it's probably a little better than the numbers. That's what they'll tell you. Like, because teams have been hot from mid-range from 3 all season. But yeah, we're not a great defensive team. Their offense, I have a piece coming out on the Kings tomorrow. Their offense is a bear. It's number 1 in the league by a lot. And they love this idea that, things are going to slow down in the playoffs. They won't be able to get out in transition. And they love it. They're like, wait until you see us in the playoffs. We might even play faster.
Hey,
that to me is one of the big things I'm really curious about.
How are they going? How's their offense going to be in the playoffs?
Just The common phrasing has always been, it's different.
Yeah.
That, like he just said, it's harder to score. And I think people will try to be more physical. Will refs allow it? One. If they do, okay, it's a little more physical. But the Kings also have their time to prepare for teams. And I think and we confuse pace with their scoring because they're not the fastest paced team. But the possessions, their offense, they move people, move bodies, they move the ball, they share the ball. And I think trying to defend that for a quarter, for a half, for 3 quarters, for 4 quarters has proven to be a problem for a lot of teams. And, just the other night against Utah, the 40-19 quarter was awful.
Yeah.
By the end, the Kings got 120 points. I mean, on a night where I thought they were just offensively. Last night, Boston's good defense. Kings had to work for that. And then they, took out the guys the last 5-6 minutes. They didn't get their normal point total, but for the most part, here's Milwaukee coming in.
Right.
Oh, man, are the Kings going to be able to score on this team? They sure did.
They did.
But will it be different in the playoffs? That's what we need to see.
I mean, fun fact, doesn't matter how bad the Kings defense is if they outscore their opponent.
True. I mean, it's what they do best. Like, if you wanted them to go, well, I want them to be the best defensive team in the postseason. I just don't see that happening. Now, can they be the best offensive team in the postseason? That's their chance to win series.
Yeah.
That's what they got to do. That's what they do best.
If you had a chance to read Zach Lowe's article, there's some really good nuggets in there, and I don't mean Denver. Domantas Sabonis and Justin Holiday were worried that they were going to get booed on the way over here from the trade itself. They were very worried about getting booed. One thing I also thought was quite interesting. Man, I don't know. We all find different things that are interesting, but the Zach Lowe nugget in here that the Kings had been, as we had suspected and talked about, that they had been looking at John Collins of Atlanta, and that they were kind of honing in, or at least circling around trading Harrison Barnes and a protected first, which, by the way, they would have ended up keeping and still drafting Keegan Murray the way everything turned out. But that was what they were looking at, and then the Sabonis thing popped up. Now, I wouldn't mind trying out Zach Collins on this team necessarily, but oh my God, I like what they did better.
Yes.
I like what they did a lot better. Although, remember, though, I mean, it's important to understand, as we all do, that Collins trade, that didn't involve Fox or Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
So now you wonder, okay, well, how would a Fox, Halliburton, Collins team have done? Not as good as this.
Nope.
No, if they could have turned around and still dealt Halliburton for. Now, I do wonder what a Fox, Sabonis, Collins team would be. But also, they're going to have to make some decisions on Harrison Barnes this summer. Way, way ahead of us.
Yeah.
I love me some Harrison Barnes. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's take a look at tonight in the NBA. All kinds of games all over the place. How do they affect your Sacramento Kings and the return of the Ja? He also had some comments yesterday I thought were interesting as well. We'll play this for you next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Cold day today with temperatures that are only going to be warming into the upper 40s to lower 50s by this afternoon. Chance for showers will increase through the day today with even some possible thunderstorms with hail. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
A beautiful, comfortable home should give you a warm feeling inside. That feeling starts with Bonnie. Right now, get up to $1,250 off any qualifying heating and cooling system replacement. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating and air. Bonnie.com.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
but you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
The Amish have a reputation for craftsmanship, determination, and quality. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. You know, those virtues sound quite similar to the Keys family and the day-to-day values on display at Naturewood. The Amish furniture craftsmanship begins with the finest hardwood, shaping and molding the raw materials into one-of-a-kind art. In addition to the classic styles long sought and revered by discriminating furniture lovers, Naturewood Home Furnishings offers a vast selection that includes transitional, modern, farmhouse, arts and crafts, and other stunning styles, all available in the ultimate Amish standard of excellence built over centuries. All Naturewood Amish furniture is on sale right now for a limited time. Let the Naturewood team guide you through their selection of Amish furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
You can't host movie night on your phone's hotspot. It's time for real home internet on the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. New customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet for just $25 a month for 2 years during our Xfinity 10G network launch celebration, now through April 23rd. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings still cannot crack the code of the Boston Celtics, falling to Boston 132-109 last night at the Golden One Center.
The Kings, back-to-back losses. Tough way to close out a 5 games and 7 night stand. 4 of them were on the road where they won 3 of 4. Their record is now 43-29. On the home floor, 21-15.
The Kings will take a couple days off before a huge game Friday night against the Phoenix Suns at the Golden One Center. The World Baseball Classic came down to arguably the 2 biggest stars in the game, who happened to be teammates going one-on-one last night.
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout. And Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
It's the 3rd gold medal for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, as they also won the tournament in 2006 and 2009. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Carmichael Dave. He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Oh, thanks. It was off. Relax.
That was good, Jay.
That was good, Jay. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of stuff to get to in the segment.
You want to talk about what we were just talking about?
I would like to not talk about that. What I would like to talk about, however, is Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. Kyrie Irving, what did he do this time? Kyrie, come on, dude. Jeez. Yeah, he donated $38,000 to the family. I'm going to get this wrong. To the families of Sharath Yadavelli and Vani Yadlapati Master students at a local school who were involved in a fatal car accident earlier this month. Lapati died following the crash that occurred March 2nd. Yadavelli suffered multiple serious injuries. Irving's donation goes towards funeral costs and medical expenses for those involved. After his donation, the families admitted that they did not know who Kyrie Irving was, not being very big basketball fans. Last month, he donated $45,000 to a GoFundMe account that hoped to raise enough money to build a school in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, listen, Kyrie Irving makes a lot of money, and the most cynical people, and I get it, would be like, well, great, dude, way to throw your money around, and that doesn't change. There's a lot of stuff I disagree with Kyrie Irving on, a lot of stuff that I think he's been irresponsible with and all that, but I do think it's important to, that's the type of stuff that people need to talk about too. You don't have to spend 10 segments on it, but I don't think it's fair that you only report the bad and not the good.
Correct.
Like, those families don't care what he did. Those families, and I'm using air quotes, depending on how you feel. I don't want to get in that debate, but that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And good for him.
Well, and a lot of this goes back to, sometimes multiple things can be true about people.
That is true.
In a negative way, in a positive way, and kind of somewhere in between. But, those kind of things should be highlighted. Good for him.
We've got a lot of games going on tonight. Well, not a ton of games going on.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the Western Conference that matter.
It's a decent, dare I say, above decent slate of games, including tipping off the night at 4:00. The Nuggets are on the road facing the Wizards.
That would be one, like, if you somehow, the Wizards are just cruising into the end here. If somehow Denver lost that one, that maybe rekindles some hope that maybe some magic can happen for the Grizzlies, certainly, and maybe the Kings.
Yeah, the Grizzlies host the Rockets.
Yeah,
so
they've got them for 2 straight. So,
would you care to guess, Jason? Let's play a game of guess the betting line. The Grizzlies host the Rockets tonight at 5 p.m.
Dylan Brooks is out.
Yeah, 13.5.
14.
I'm going to take my hat off to both you guys. The line is 13. That's really good, though. That's really good. One more here that has nothing to do with anything, but this just caught my eye. The Bucks host the Spurs tonight. Would you like to take a guess at the line?
15.5.
16.5.
I'm not going to take the whole hat off. I'm gonna tip the cap to you guys. Milwaukee 17.5-point favorites over a Greg Popovich coached team. Wowzers. And mini shout out to Greg Popovich. Can we give him a little mini shout out? Like, he's still coaching.
Coach of the year?
No. But
hot seat?
No. but he's still
on a seat.
He's 19-53. Get him out of there.
Like, he has every right to retire, move on, go somewhere. He's still coaching.
It's his lineups.
Yes,
Literally.
I agree with you. All right, Western Conference, Jason. The big matchup tonight, 4:30, Dallas, Texas. Warriors, Mavericks. The Warriors are facing the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. Who are we rooting for? The Warriors technically have a better record by a game.
Yeah, both have 36 losses. I'm with Jay. That's what we need to have happen.
The Mavericks are 22-14 at home. Warriors, with their latest win, are now 8-29 on the road. Gentlemen, one more time, let's play Guess the Line.
Well, Kyrie's out.
Is he?
I think I know him, Luka, and there's one other player that are at the very least questionable.
I know Luka's out.
Luka's out.
I
think Kyrie's questionable tonight.
Yeah. Well, he's always questionable.
Warriors by 2.5.
Warriors 4.5.
I'm actually really surprised that you guys got that. You said what, 4.5?
I said 2.5.
I said 4.5.
And Circle gets the square. Jason Ross on the money, 2.5. The Warriors on the road are 2.5-point favorite.
I think we root for Dallas.
But Dallas without Luka and Kyrie is kind of G League-ish.
Yeah, that's why you root for them and the Warriors to get another road win. Not that they're building a bunch of confidence there. I think that would be more of a slide on the Warriors than anything if the Dallas won.
I guess I kind of lied. Really, the marquee matchup tonight, Suns-Lakers, right? Kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Suns.
Sacramento-ically speaking.
Yeah. ESPN, televised game, of course. Suns-Lakers. One more time, guess the line. Why not? Screw it. 1-800-GAMBLER.
In Phoenix or in LA?
It's in LA. The 35-37 Lakers versus the 38-33 Suns.
Suns by 2.
Suns 1.5.
Suns by 1.
Jay,
can I just say you guys are doing really, honestly.
We have our own gambling site.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are doing really.
Very close to our numbers that we put out there on a daily basis.
Are you secretly looking at?
Not so secretly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you have it up? And
I
Jay's
do. I'm looking exactly at it.
Over your shoulder. Jazz host the Trailblazers. Timberwolves in the return of the Cat hosting the Hawks tonight.
Ooh.
The Wolves.
Dogs versus birds. That's how they're building this one.
And we don't care. Pacers, Raptors.
We care.
If the Kings are the best story this year, are the Raptors the weirdest? Like, they're 35 and 37, and I feel like they're better.
I feel like there's 56 weird stories. It's a lot to go through.
Chicago's weird.
Chicago is. You're right.
Chicago's weird.
You're right.
A sneaky good story too. I think Orlando's becoming one.
Like,
they're not going to make it, but like I thought they would be. They're building something.
Yep.
I mean, they have 30 wins. That's not amazing, but that team's gone through some stuff. I like where they're going.
Even though the Sacramento Kings are 1.5 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Kings have the 26th ranked defense since the All-Star break, they stayed the same. The Sacramento Kings, according to ESPN.com's rankings, are the number 6 team in the NBA, trailing only the Cavs, who they swept, the Nuggets, and then obviously Celtics, Sixers, and Bucks. That's interesting. The Kings are, even though they're the 3 seed, they're the number 2 ranked, according to ESPN, team in the Western Conference.
That
goes Kings, Grizzlies, Suns. How about that, Jason? Memphis is getting Ja Morant back tonight. Ja Morant spoke a little bit yesterday. He spoke about his bad decision making.
I made, a terrible decision, but being away from, my team definitely, what hurt me the most. I sent message to him, apologizing and stuff, but it's better to, talk to him in person. So finally being able to be back to do that definitely, helps me out a lot and, make me a lot more comfortable.
Now, from what I understand and what was also reported, he got a nice house in Florida and had entered a counseling. What I had heard is like counselors or a counselor or whatever came to him at the house and counseled. They did the counseling. He talked about that.
I went there for counseling to learn how to, manage stress, cope with stress in, a positive way. Instead of, ways I've, tried to deal with it before that, caused me to make mistakes.
I mean, all right.
Yeah.
The obvious questions are how. I'm not making light of this. I'm truly not. But like, how much can you learn in like, I don't know how many counseling sessions he had, but what was he there, like 3 days? Like,
It was like a week or two.
Was he? And then secondly, like, I don't know. I guess the counselors would know, but did it seem like the decisions he was making were from stress? It just seemed like the people he was like, I mean,
I don't know.
He's stressed out and good. I don't either. No, I'm not making fun. I'm honestly asking, like, you get stressed out and, hold the gun and I don't know. I just want him to be okay.
When I saw the fan reaction in Memphis to when he was back at the last game and on the bench.
Yeah.
It takes you to a different spot from like, I mean, we think about this like, man, what is this doing to Memphis? What is this doing to the team and all that kind of stuff? And they won games, but like, what's it gonna be like when he came back? It does remind me of like, if it was a Sabonis or a Fox, like that critical of a player here that was going through that, but then they came back.
Yeah.
Like this place would be going nuts for them.
Nuts.
And that's exactly what, I mean, like this could be like a really huge spark for a team at the right time going into the postseason.
Oh, that standing ovation is going to be amazing. Last thing from him. Ja's going to be Ja, he said.
I'm always be Ja. I won't change, for anybody. The only problem with me right now is, just getting into, a space mentally that, I'm very comfortable in and, I feel good at it. That's why I made the decision to, take the time away and, go to counseling, and that helped me learn, a lot of things.
I turned my mic off. I don't know. Listen, not our place to judge and all that, but also coming off of all of that, I'm not going to change for anybody. That might be a little worrisome, but I want to parse it. And then also, was it your decision to do that, Ja? He said, I made the decision. I honestly thought it was the league's decision. I don't know. Either way, I don't care what he says. I hope the actions are that this young man with all the talent in the world and seemingly some good people around him is able to have a nice long career and look back at this as just silly, dumb youth. We'll take a break. When we come back, news and notes. The crossover with Chris Watkins and Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. We're back right after this on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The last time the Kings had a winning season, you heard this.
Marco the hoop lays it up, around, and in, at the horn, and Marco has gone for score.
Now it's the Beam Team's turn.
The Knicks have it. Here comes Barrett on the run. Stutter step in the lane. Double clutch. Chase down. Blocked by Sabonis. Stops. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
The Sacramento Kings will finish the regular season with a winning record for the first time since 2006. Every Kings game on Sactown Sports.
ATM Mortgage.
When times get tough, you need a lender that gets even tougher. Hi, Jeff Tarbell with ATM Mortgage. We can still show you an affordable path to home ownership, and all you have to do is call 916-338-9400. That's 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
It's March, and you know what that means? Taxes are almost due. Jackson Hewitt can help you win tax season. That's the sound of your maximum tax refund. The sound of getting 50% off tax prep. The sound of many of our competitors' prices going up. And the sound of getting to your nearest Jackson Hewitt. Hurry in for 50% off tax prep before this offer expires April 9th. Limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers. And by now, you probably know that our technicians are pretty special. But I want you to know our outstanding service doesn't happen on accident. It's no fluke.
Nope, it's 100% calculated, pre-planned, and on purpose. For starters, we only hire friendly people who must also pass drug tests and background checks.
They follow strict grooming and appearance standards. And then we train them 9 ways till Sunday.
So when you open the door to a Bell Brothers technician, you're going to like what you find. A technician who looks great, who is super safe and friendly, and who knows exactly what they're doing.
Excellence is no accident. It's on purpose. Give us a chance to prove it to you.
Call Bell Brothers today to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Our number is 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Chris Watkins is with us as we get into the final chapter of today's program. Chris and Co., is there a Co. today? We always like to ask.
There was supposed to be a Co. today, but I guess Nate got pulled into board op responsibilities later today. So,
Nate Littlefield was the Co.?
He was supposed to, yeah. He was supposed to join me for the full hour, and yeah, he's got other responsibilities
Nate
today.
Littlefield is big-timing you.
Dude, I know. I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I was going to cater a whole show to him too.
We will
do
will
crash stories and everything.
We'll be your coach till 10 a.m. How about that?
I was thinking about it before I came in here. Am I kind of like your guys' Matthew Delvedova, like the human beam, I like to call him, like where it's like when I come in, you guys are like, oh yeah, like the show's over, like this is great. We see Chris.
I mean, I will say like the Pavlovian response where it's like we see, we're like, oh yeah,
exactly,
final, whatever. But I would say, I get the whole Matthew Dellavedova reference, but I'd say if Matthew Dellavedova and Keegan Murray had a baby, because you're also the rookie with all the potential that we're going to start relying on more. Matthew Dellavedova is like the older guy who's got the experience. It's like,
And every time you walk in, we go, Chris!
Watkins!
Didn't quite hit the same.
Did you guys hear at the end of the game last night?
Oh,
Keegan hit
the
a 3.
saddest.
Oh, it was the saddest. It was like what we did on our show. Yeah. Somebody actually sent the clip to me on Twitter because Moat goes, Keegan, and I don't even think he put everything into it.
No,
and the crowd is just straight up like, Murray.
Oh, I didn't catch it. It was
it was like one of the last points of the game. We're already down 25, and it was like
all the air's out of the balloon.
Murray, I guess. Murray.
Have to do it.
Shohei Ohtani in the World Baseball Classic hit .435.
Okay.
He had 9 2/3 innings pitched with a 1.86 ERA and 11 strikeouts. The hardest hit ball in the World Baseball Classic, Shohei Ohtani, 118.7 miles an hour. The hardest thrown ball in the World Baseball Classic, Shohei Ohtani, 102 miles an hour. Longest home run in the tournament, you guessed it, Shohei Ohtani, 448 feet. WBC champion, WBC MVP, and man, that strikeout against teammate Michael Trout sounded like this. So, Chris, you weren't here earlier. I'm going to give you 3 choices here. I'm going to give you Shohei Ohtani in the WBC. I'm going to give you
for the news of the day.
I'm going to
Don't mind me.
That's fine. And I'm going to give you second choice. Norway's Victor Hovland winning a golf tournament.
For et øyeblikk. Ja, nå det bare å blande seg fast her. Petter får Norges første PGA-tur-seier her, Victor Hovland.
Han flytter jo hullet, så har han den der! Han mener alvor!
Forgive my dumb American ignorance. What do they speak in Norway? I know it's not Norwegian. Is it really Norwegian? Is it Dutch? It sounds German, but I know it's not, but they're like cousins. I don't know. Just saying. Okay, so that's nominee number 2. And nominee number 3 for the foreign language, it's like the Oscars, foreign language call of the year is this guy.
Montiel!
Oh, this is great.
Montiel!
It's still number 1, right?
The official languages.
Yes.
Of Norway are
Please,
Norwegian
please do.
and Sami.
Sami?
Sami.
I've never even heard of Sammy. I have a friend named Sammy, Sami, but I don't think that's what they mean.
Yeah.
Shockingly,
But we were half right.
Wow, Norwegian. Good for, what do I mean? Good for them. Like, why did I even say that? Good for them. They speak Norwegian. Sam Amick helps us out with this, guys. Final one here. Your MVP homework heading into the weekend. Saturday, Giannis Antetokounmpo at Nikola Jokic. Monday, Joel Embiid at Nikola Jokic. And Sunday, before the April 2nd, Joel Embiid at Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Good stuff.
Gentlemen,
That decides it all.
That is for all the marbles. Who is currently your MVP, Chris Watkins?
I think I'm going to go Giannis.
Giannis.
just with how great he's played, and he's got that Bucks team now in the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think Embiid's right on his tails. It does feel like Jokic has kind of slipped in the past couple weeks with Denver having that small little slide a couple weeks ago.
Jason Ross.
I'm in the honest camp as well.
The correct answer is Nikola Jokic. That's probably not. But, today's National Bavarian Crepes Day. Fellows, are you a crepe people?
I've had them. I probably need to have them more to have more of an opinion.
Yeah.
If they're made right, they're good. Just saying, Nutella. Today's National Goof Off Day. No problem.
Gotcha.
National West Virginia Day.
Never been.
How do you have a national holiday
For a state? I don't know.
Also, why isn't there an East Virginia?
Why isn't
We
there
have
North or
Virginia
South
and
Virginia?
West. But I mean, like you get North and South Carolina, North and South
Dakota. You got West Virginia, but there's no
Why
East.
not East Virginia?
There's no East anything. There's
East
no,
Rutherford?
No, I'm just saying there's no East states. All directions are represented but East.
It's true.
Think about it.
We need
West.
East Maine to come out.
Right? East California.
Yeah.
We need to break this sucker up.
Where's the West?
West what? West Virginia.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Darn it.
that's okay.
Where's the South?
Name
them all.
You got Carolina, Dakota, and
but where's the North?
Carolina, Dakota.
Yeah, right.
You got it.
And fear that.
Yeah.
Right? Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. You know, nothing, and I do say nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies. CRUMBL cookies. Let's get ready to crumble with today's celebrity birthday.
Happy birthday, guys, on this March 22nd to our very own Shemezi Metu.
Hey! Shemezi is 25 or 20. He's 26.
I'm going to say 26 as well.
I'll say 27.
26 is correct.
Yeah.
I get
Big
more
Mezzy
points, though,
hive.
because he copied me.
Yeah, because you went.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy birthday to Reese Witherspoon.
Reese.
Oh, that is such easy.
Clarence's daughter.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Reese Witherspoon is 51.
I was going to say 48.
47.
47 on the
Wow.
nose.
Wow.
Same ours. Perfect. 2 for 2.
By the way, somebody says they claim at least that the Kings player with the fan that they had to take on
Larry,
the road
huh?
was Lawrence Funderburg. Wow. How about that? Wouldn't you guess that one? Back to you, Jason.
Happy birthday to J.J. Watt.
What?
What?
Social media celebrity.
Yeah.
All around really good guy.
Is he really? I've never heard.
He is a wonderful.
If you didn't, he'll let you know.
Yeah.
Wonderful. J.J. Watt is 35.
36.
I was going to say 35. I'll say 34.
34.
Wow.
Thanks,
Good
Dave.
adjustment.
Appreciate it.
Happy birthday to Wolf Blitzer.
Wolf Blitzer.
Such a washero.
I literally was on the can this morning reading about Wolf Blitzer. That's a true story.
Same.
And I guess he was the military correspondent during the Iraq War, the first one.
Uh-huh.
And he reported that some missiles hit a thing or whatever in Iraq, and he got called by the Joint Chief of Staff guy. Was like, bro, you're giving away, like, Saddam Hussein's literally, like, we know for a fact they're watching CNN right now. And Wolf realized then that, like,
ratings.
Yeah. So then he reported all of it. And that was the rest of the story. Wolf Blitzer is
So what it said, missiles are hitting Canada?
yeah,
Like,
he's trying to fake him out. He's trying to juke Saddam. Wolf is 74.
Say 73.
69.
75.
Wow, hey.
For Wolf Blitzer.
Nicely coiffed beard, Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, well done. Happy birthday.
Well done, Wolf.
William Shatner.
Shats.
William is Shatner's 90?
91.
Is he really? Oh,
Maybe we're just way wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Give your original guess.
I'll say 78.
I feel like 68 was your original guess.
No, it was not 69.
70?
No, I was going to go 70s, but.
Bill Shatner?
90s.
92.
No way. I had no idea he was that old.
Oh, my God. We're going to lose Bill Shatner soon.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't want to lose anyone. I hate it when people are 90. Shut up, Chris.
Sean Bradley?
Oh,
Jeez, he's still
Sean.
going?
That hurts.
Sean Bradley. I mean, good on Sean Bradley, by the way, too.
Okay, the
Sean's been
segment's
through a
almost
lot.
over. Can you say his age?
I'm stalling. Sean Bradley is 50.
52.
51. I was gonna say
51.
Oh,
Wasn't
geez.
he paralyzed?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shouts to Sean Bradley. Happy birthday to you. For what do you have coming up today?
I got. Wow, you're actually gonna let me say it. I can't believe it. I wasn't
No, we
actually
have- we
ready.
have
I thought
time.
you were just gonna cut me
What
off.
do you have going on?
It's Deuce and Mo.
You want to turn up a little? I mean, it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. This does not match Philadelphia, though. No, it's like